Let's go. Good morning, my friends. It's your old pal, PeaceLoveMusic, with another episode of the Let's Go Good Morning Show, brought to you live by DeOrganized Media in partnership with our awesome friends at BitcoinLive, Decentralized Broadcasting. It's Friday, the 9th of May, even though the title says it's the 8th of May because, I miss stuff. But it is the 9th of May. It's Friday. And man, has it been a great couple of weeks and an amazing day yesterday. The numbers look great. Everything is up. If you're in the Stacks ecosystem, you have to be feeling good today. And if you're not in the Stacks ecosystem, well, there's still time to join because there's so much cool stuff still coming. Friendly reminder, this is a news show. We are providing news and information only. We are providing some entertainment, some education, but never financial advice. Always do your own research. Never invest money you cannot afford to lose. That being said, the numbers as of about a half an hour ago, I haven't checked them in about a half an hour because I'm multitasking. Numbers were just over 103. So let me just double check CoinMarketCap. I don't like giving false info. It is just over 103. So it did dip down. I saw earlier after I grabbed the number, but we're at just over 103. Stacks hanging on to 97 cents or moving up to 97 cents, just under $1. It was pushing up to 99 at one point. Fear and Greed Index is up to 70. We are back into the greed range, fam. We're into the greed range. That might mean something, but again, do your own research. The top three gainers on CoinMarketCap over the last 24 hours are Pepe coin on Ether. Not my preferred Pepe, by the way, but still, whatever. They're doing good. Good for them. Brett on Base and Virtual Token are our top three gainers. Stack STX, Earn BTC, SBTC is programmable Bitcoin for DeFi. Stacks has fast, low-fee transactions, proof of transfer security with Bitcoin finality, native Bitcoin rewards, and programmable Bitcoin with real Bitcoin DeFi on the Stacks network. Tell your friends. In the Stacks DeFi world, Hermetica is offering 9% yield on USDH. That is a Bitcoin-backed dollar stablecoin that earns yield daily. 9% APY today on USDH with $5.5 million total value locked on the platform. And they have a fresh new dashboard with all sorts of cool data metrics that you can take advantage of as well. And DCA into Bitcoin, stacks, runes, and more effortlessly at bitflow.finance. And now Bitflow added a major upgrade to its liquidity platform with the launch of Flex Pools. Flex Pools allow users to provide liquidity in any ratio while benefiting from ultra-low slippage. Perp decks on Stacks. Velar has launched their long-awaited perp decks. Now you can engage in perp trading. Stake your Velar, pair your favorite tokens with SBTC, earn yield, and trade all your favorite tokens on Velar. Alex Labs X-Link bridge is now protocol with the aim of facilitating swaps directly between Bitcoin and USDT and AUSD stablecoins. And Alex has all the best tokens available for swapping. You can engage in liquidity pooling and all sorts of stuff over at Alex Labs. I think it's app.alexlab.co. Zest is offering 4.8% yield on SBTC. That's right. Over at Zest Protocol, you can earn 4.8% on your Bitcoin bridged into Stacks via the SBTC bridge. Over at StackingDAO, whoops, pressed a hotkey. You guys didn't see it, so that's cool. Over at StackingDAO, you can earn 7.36% on your STX with STSTX, 7.71% yield on in native BTC with regular stacking, or 7.15% with rewards in SBTC. And the top 3 token gainers in the last 24 hours on stxtools.io are Charisma's Cha token, Turto, and Leo coin. All the Stacks ecosystem is ripping right now. We're doing really good. Shout out to everyone that's been here and lasting, by the way. It's been a hard road, but we've made it, and we're doing really well here. On the Stacks calendar for the day, as always, we start our day off with the 8 a.m. whatever Monday space. We had some great people tune in. Thank you all for tuning in this morning to the warm-up space, whatever morning. We have our live show at 8:30 a.m. with yours truly bringing you all the news we can. That runs until 9:30 when we do Find to Earn rounds with the Game Master Xenitron. At 10:30 today, we will have the SIP Innovation Call with Hero Gamer, Hattie, and myself talking about, I think we're going to focus on some of the projects that are building and innovating in the space today, some of the great work that's being done at the dev level, on the app level for our ecosystem. Purple Pill Friday is at 5 p.m. That's every Friday. It is the longest running Stacks focused space on X, hosted by Dan Trevino and Brad, Fluid Voice Brad, every Friday at 5 p.m. And then at 7 p.m. you can round out your day, find out what happened through the day with GPSC and friends. There's going to be also more Find to Earn rounds with Xenitron on DeOrganized nightly tonight as well. That is the calendar on the DeOrganized page. We also have over on the Stacks calendar Bitcoin plus dives deep. That is going on today. That is your news, or that is your calendar, your schedule for today. Get out and support our ecosystem. And if you have a space, a live stream or event series you want to share with the community, head over to deorganized.media, create your user account. We'll get you set up for your event on the community calendar. It's free for everyone. You get more visibility and let your audience know what's happening, whether it's a one-time event or recurring series. We will shout you out and let our audience know every day when your shows are going to happen. And it's helpful. You know, it helps us get in. Before I break into the news, guys, Chads, share out the live stream. It really helps us tremendously. If you like what we're doing, if you enjoy the show, you enjoy the content, you like how we bring, you like the vibe, you like the ethos that we're here to support, share out the live stream. It really helps us tremendously. It helps us grow. It helps us reach a broader audience and bring this information out to more people so that they can make their own decisions and get all that stuff squared away. But it really does help us when you share out the stream tremendously. Like I can't state that enough. In the news today, Bitcoin has reclaimed the 100K mark. Boy, has it, for the first time since February, propelled by bullish sentiment following a new trade deal between the US and UK. The agreement reduces tariffs on critical goods and signals improved global cooperation, encouraging investors to seek higher risk assets. Additional momentum came from the U.S. signaling support for strategic Bitcoin reserves as part of its monetary diversification strategy. Coinbase acquires Deribit. Coinbase has acquired crypto derivatives exchange Deribit for $2.9 billion, a strategic move to strengthen its global presence in the growing derivatives sector. The deal includes $700 million in cash and 11 million Coinbase shares. This acquisition positions Coinbase to better compete with Binance and Bybit in the options and futures market, signaling institutional confidence in the long-term viability of crypto trading infrastructure. A bill to regulate stablecoins failed to pass a procedural vote in the Senate, dealing a blow to efforts aimed at creating a unified U.S. crypto framework. Lawmakers raised concerns about conflicts of interest, including Trump's links to crypto ventures like MAGA Coin and a rumored stablecoin tied to sovereign investments. The failure highlights ongoing partisan rifts over crypto's role in national policy and economic influences. The Bank of England has cut its base rate to 4.25%, marking the fourth consecutive reduction since August 2024. The decision is a response to slowing consumer demand, increased trade friction with China and the U.S., and recent signs of stagnation in manufacturing output. This move coincides with the new U.S.-UK trade deal and reflects a broad trend among central banks to stimulate growth and global unity. They cut rates because they had to. Macro hedge funds suffered a sharp loss in April amid erratic global markets, with many caught off guard by rapid policy shifts, geopolitical tensions, and commodity volatility. According to industry analysts, this was the worst monthly performance since the 2023 banking crisis fallout. Funds that had heavy positions on treasury yields and oil futures saw the steepest declines, raising questions about strategy resilience in unpredictable macro cycles. They should have bought stacks. They bought stacks, they would have been up like nearly 100% over the last month. But, what do we all know? ETF flows on May 8th. Bitcoin spot ETFs experienced a net inflow of $117.4 million. That's $117 million more in a day. It's been just flowing in to Bitcoin. BlackRock's IBIT led with an inflow of $69 million. Ethereum spot ETF saw a total net outflow of $16 million on the same day. That's surprising because Ethereum ripped last night. So I would imagine that's going to reverse today. Fidelity's FETH recorded the highest single-day outflow of $19.3 million, followed closely by an inflow of $3.19 million into the Grayscale Mini Trust ETH ETF. The Stacks ecosystem is unlocking another 2,000 BTC worth of capacity for SBTC on May 15th, bringing the total to 5,000 BTC will be locked on chain with it's not really locked. It's just be put in there. It's not locked in. You can take it out. Nobody wants to take it out once they put it in there. With previous caps filling fast and the recent opening of SBTC withdrawals, This next phase fuels the growing wave of Bitcoin DeFi, more BTC, more users, more utility. Stacks is leveling up the future of decentralized Bitcoin finance and just crushing it on the daily, crushing it weekly. Stacks is killing it, and we're here for it. The Stacks ecosystem continues to exceed expectations with a wave of major institutional integrations and technical milestones. In recent weeks, BitGo and Hex Trust launched custody and stacking support. XTX was listed on Bitfinex, and SBTC capacity tripled to 3,000 BTC amid growing DeFi demand. Meanwhile, the SUI network is integrating SBTC and joining as a Stacks validator, highlighting cross-chain collaborations. These developments prove Stacks isn't just promising, producing tremendous results. And again, we are here for it. Big Market is preparing to launch the first decentralized prediction market built on Stacks, designed to prioritize reputation over pure speculation. Users gain influence through participation and accuracy using semi-fungible Big R tokens, which are earned and staked based on performance. The platform is currently live on testnet with markets running in STX and testnet STX. Well, it's just testnet. Testnet STX is available via Faucet. As part of the Stacks Ascent program, Big Market engaging community members, meme coin projects, and media partners like DeOrganized to test and refine its system. Its goal: build high signal, low noise forecasting powered by real reputation on Bitcoin. Check them out, bigmarket.ai. Time is running out. It's the 9th today. You have 2 days, guys, to take advantage of this. Boom is offering .btc holders a chance to claim their matching .boom.btc subdomain, but only for a limited time from today through the 11th, or now through the 11th of May. That's only a couple of days. Users who register for the Boom wallet at boom.money/reserve can optionally reserve a subdomain like yourname.boom.btc if they already own that .btc name. The move is designed to simplify Bitcoin transactions, making them as easy as sending an email. There is no pressure to participate, and your existing .btc name still works on Boom. But if you don't claim it, someone else could. This is not what you want to have happen. Make sure you get over to boom.money/reserve and get on it. Get on it. Don't lose out on your boom.btc subdomain. You want to have that. Bitflow has introduced a major upgrade to its liquid platform with the launch of Flex Pools, starting with the new STX pool. Designed specifically for yield-bearing assets like STX, Flex Pools allow users to provide liquidity in any ratio while benefiting from ultra-low slippage and automated reward optimization. The upgrade delivers deeper liquidity, higher APYs, and greater flexibility for traders and liquidity providers alike. This makes a significant step forward for stable swap infrastructure on Stacks and further positions Bitflow as the go-to DEX for dynamic DeFi trading. Flex Pools are now live and accessible at app.bitflow.finance/pool. Get on it. I'm going to shout out BoostX. BoostX is just killing it right now. There's so many cool things. If you don't know what BoostX is, you need to find out. It's at boostx.cc. They have innovated a way to integrate Stacks wallet functionality on X, and you can send and receive Stacks tokens, Bitcoin, SIP10 tokens, Stacks NFTs. Soon you'll be able to mint NFTs with participating partners. You can do, now there's airdrops in X spaces. You can drop tokens to anyone in an X space that has a BNS name in there. Go check them out. It's awesome. Tremendous stuff that Crypto Dude's doing over at BoostX. BNS1, by the way, is the place to go get your BNS name. You do need a .btc or .stx name to participate in BoostX, to receive BoostX payments on X. You can actually send and have the extension on there and functional, but you can't receive payments if you don't have a BNS name. And of course, you want to show out your BNS name and support the community and show everybody that you were early to Stacks and early to Bitcoin functionality with the top layer 2 on Bitcoin. So get over there and get that done. Stacks Ascent is a tremendous project supporting builders in the Stacks ecosystem. They have a roadmap that helps you figure out how to shape out your project, how to best make sure that you're ready to go for going to market, put you in touch with some accelerator programs and partners in the ecosystem like Bitcoin Frontier Fund, Hero, and Trust Machines. It's an innovative major push to strengthen Bitcoin layer 2 innovation by nurturing real sustainable projects from the ground up. Huge shout out to the Stacks Ascent project and the team running that, Adam and Kenny. Really awesome stuff. And with that, I'm just going to say hi to our friends in the chat. Good morning, Nobody Famous. Good morning, Jamie F. from the Dog Pool Crew. Good morning. Oh, there's a conversation. Good morning, Nieta. How are you? How are you? Great chatting with you in the space today, and thank you for tuning in. I'm going to bring on our tremendous... Wow, we got some real Chads in the space here. Of course, no bigger Chad than GPSC right here. How you doing today, man?
Good morning, man. Happy Friday, Peace. It's been a great week.
Boy, has it. Boy, has it. And here's a guy I know who's feeling pretty good about some of his bets over the last couple weeks. Jack Binswitch in the house, been taking advantage of some of that perp dex trading.
Yep.
Made some good decisions, my
friend. Look, man, it's all about paying attention, like we're right here participating DeFi on Bitcoin in this ecosystem. Everyone else got their fingers right up their butts, man. Just someone's got to buy top.
They're reaching for something, but they're not sure what they're going to get.
That's where you get the shit coins. Oh, that's pretty good.
Literally. What's up, Rosa? How you doing today, man?
What up? Doing pretty good.
Did you build a new way to save the world again last night while we were all sleeping?
No, I just made the existing way to save the world even better.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Thank you for joining us. Love what you're doing, man. So I am feeling excellent, guys. Like, I think I'm very tired. Yeah, I'm sure we all are kind of, because we're just there's a lot going on. There's so much going on in our space, but man, if that's not a great sign, where we are, we stuck it out. It definitely felt a little rough the last couple of months, but I think the signs that we were right to keep pushing through are before us. And I'm feeling good heading into the weekend, preparing for Vegas and all of that stuff. Good morning, Hero. Hero saying hi. Hero will be with us for the Sip and Innovation call at 10:30. Rosa, are you going to hang out with us for that? I'm happy. I'll be glad to spotlight what you're working on.
Yeah, I'm definitely be around.
I was going to anyway, but it'd be easier if you can explain it for us. It'll probably be better.
Being early isn't easy, is it, guys?
No, it's very hard.
Everyone
Especially
wants to be early.
Staying early is not easy.
Ain't nobody wants to suffer through all the uncertainty and lack of attention, but it's worth it. People are coming around.
This kind of reminds me of something I heard that's true in like art and music, where it's like there's artists and they'll make different genres, and like a lot of artists will like chase the popular genres, but they're like never early to it because it's already popular at that point. And then the real winners here are like the people who just like stick to their one thing and they just get really good at it, and eventually like art and culture, it's all trends. It just like rotates. Eventually the trend rotates back to the people, back to whatever genre, and then people who have been grinding there and just doing that obviously get like the spoils of that. So I feel like it's the same thing here.
No, I think you're right. It's really
we're early because we never left.
We're early, right? We're extra early because we never left. But yeah, you're right. Where there's it's everything cycles. it's actually one of the natures of the universe. There's polarity and cycle and ebb and flow of energy. Everything cycles. Everything's in waves, and you just got to kind of weather them out. Your life would be very boring, by the way, if everything was just flat on this even level and there was no, GP. You had me laughing yesterday, by the way. You did that. I forget what we were talking about. Something was going on. I think I'm reading the I'm reading the shout out to StackingDAO, I think. But that makes the world's more interesting when you're going up and down, right?
Yeah, people say being rich is miserable. I mean, I don't know. I don't mind.
I'd like to find out for myself.
I don't mind seeing if it's true.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind knowing one way or the other. I feel so. When you look at money as energy, all it does is just gives you the capacity to do things. It's the capacity to have energy to do stuff. Good morning, Melanie. You're on mute. Is that on our? There you are.
Hi.
How are you?
There she is.
Good morning. There she is.
Friday.
How are you?
Great show with Snazzy yesterday with that impromptu ending. If you guys didn't, I know GP saw it because he came to our rescue too. He was like, "Oh my god, what do I do?"
I was just talking about time travel as well. I was like, and they can just send you. Oh. I was going.
She's right. She's talking about time travel, and all of a sudden she just disappears from the end of the show. As he's out there on an island, like, all right, I guess I'll just take some questions from the chat.
He handled it so well, though. I mean, he really handled it so well. He was like, oh, it's gone. Okay. That was so funny.
It was a good episode.
Eh?
It was a great episode.
Oh, did you enjoy it? Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, getting to know the people and that are building in our space on a more intimate level, and hearing about what they got going on. Yeah, Bitcoin and Beyond's good. DeOrganized.
He's a very interesting guy. I learned so much about him. Just looking into him. The fact that he's like a fine artist and a sculptor,
right?
What? Did you guys know that Snazzy studied fine art? And
didn't know it. And we've had him on the show 2 or 3 times, and I didn't know that.
Kitty asking the questions, and he works he's worked for all of his career in the charitable sector with children who. That's Rory, by the way, my assistant, who cruises up and down behind me.
Hi, Lori.
Hi.
Like Aurora, like the most beautiful.
Oh, Aurora, like Rory Aurora.
Yeah.
Like Sleeping Beauty from the Disney version.
She is. She's Sleeping Beauty, except if she sleeps on the job, it wouldn't be cool. But yes, I imagine when she goes to bed at night, she is Sleeping Beauty. Look, guys.
She's dreaming of all the stuff she has to do for you.
Yeah, exactly. When I'm texting her in the middle of the night, because 4 a.m. Guys, look what I'm wearing. It's my kitty jersey.
It looks like
Are you bringing the kitty back?
Today I am. It's Friday. It's Kitty Day.
Kitty Day. I didn't know Friday was Kitty Day.
Since when?
Since now.
I thought it was Catter Day. It was Saturday.
Oh, Catter Day.
Catter Day. I like that.
They don't get 2 days.
I'm a girl. I get
Rosar's like, it's both day.
But I like that. Catter Day. I'll take that.
Just shout out Jamie. I just want to let Jamie know I did actually send him the link. He's absolutely welcome to join the stream anytime. But if he wants to join for 10:30 or if he wants to come in early, always happy to have you here. What's up, Michael? How are you doing today, man? Michael suggested we actually create an NFT project for determining who has the right to sleep with me in Vegas. What?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's Prima Nocta, but Bitcoin Vegas.
First night. No, so anyway.
who gets to sleep with peace.
That's right. Putting the P in POA.
By the way, that's not really up for grabs. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well,
I'm committed to that. I'm not that committed.
wait, Peace and I are at CPAP age. You know, it's hit or miss whether you need one.
Oh shit.
So you better like, you know, go ahead and make sure that that's not a thing. You got to factor that into calculations.
Imagine having
God,
sex with a CPAP mask on. That's funny.
Hey, some people might like that. There must be like an OnlyFans
I like it.
as well.
It's like two Darth Vaders in
Right.
bed together.
Oh, this is too funny. This
Darth
is
Vader
fucking
snores.
Oh Lord, Friday.
I do. My understanding is that I do snore significantly, although significantly less so since I changed to vaping from actual smoking. So, you know, it's probably not too bad. My wife's
Not
gotten
medical-
used to it. Nah,
Well, we're gonna
not,
be going
not medical
we're gonna be
advice,
going
but it sure is fun.
And I feel
No.
better when I take shrooms, not medical advice.
We're going to Vegas, so I imagine we're going to be doing fentanyl. When in Rome?
Yeah, so all the kids doing.
Right. We're gonna do the news with you lot on fentanyl.
You gotta boof it though.
Are you
Feels
going
like
to
That's two times. That's the second time boofing is. Oh no, that was off screen, wasn't it? When that was off screen. That wasn't live. So that is the first mention of boofing, I think, on DeOrganized. Well done, Mozart.
Thanks.
You've gotten.
Oh,
Some,
no.
He's gonna give him some daps for that.
You know, I'm hip. I'm in on the lingo.
guys, what is boofing?
It's when you put drugs in your
no.
butt.
Show her, GP.
But yeah, I mean, to an extent,
Yeah,
really,
put
it's
it
just
up on the
become putting
demo.
anything in your butt.
What?
It's
Yeah.
it's just a different way of ingesting something.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I've never tried.
that area of your body is highly vascular. So, you know, everything, you know, gets into your bloodstream much quicker. You know, like the quickest way to ingest any substance is
I
through your
can't-
blood.
That's at least what people tell me. And
Yeah.
you know, Mark, you know, that's what we heard.
Not even.
It's like
From
taking a
Bitcoin to
suppository.
Bitcoin.
But like hardcore alcoholics, that they'll get like a significant other or a friend to administer their alcohol rectally.
Also known as the boof assist.
Yeah, the booth assist.
Their balls
So-
bubble.
Oh yeah, the
That was,
Optimo 5000 from
The
South.
whole show has gone rogue.
It has. It's Friday.
You can't recommend boofing because that's a way to you know, you're much more likely to OD on your substance of choice.
Seems like a two-person event.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
who knows, man? With enough time and boredom, like people, you know, people might have mastered it. You know,
Figure it out.
I mean, that must
So my first hearing of that term, by the way, was with the vetting, the hearings for Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, and because they were talking about, like, they were trying to just stop him from getting approved, and there was something from way back in the college days, and so that was like some kind of that's where I heard about it. It became public knowledge for me during that whole thing, where I guess there was some kind of talking about doing it at a
Isn't that-
party.
But aren't they talking about like boofing with each other's penises though, not drugs?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Sorry,
think so.
It came out in the thing. Somebody said they knew that he boofed in varsity.
That's what I'm talking about.
Something
Right?
about because there were allegations of a sexual assault, and that was surrounding, somehow that was
Oh,
part of it. That's all I remember. I don't really know.
Mm.
Say that again,
Crazy.
Mike.
And inverse Cosby, because Cosby used to give you the oral, right? And this is the
and
inverse of
then boof. Now it's the opposite. Yeah.
How is
soon.
Bitcoin at 104K? And this is what we're talking about. This is the subject matter.
Yeah, the market's getting
This is
boosted.
what happens when Bitcoin's 104K.
It's Rosar's fault.
Right.
How do we? We're gonna say booth more. It'll be like the Pee Wee Herman word of the day.
Keyword.
It's a fun word.
Word for the day.
Yeah,
Where's
y'all,
Howie
y'all
Mandel?
just y'all just be careful in Vegas. If Mike comes at you with a pudding pop, just run. So you're gonna get this one way or the other.
Hey, come
Al.
on, it's coconut flavor. You'll
Your
like it.
choice.
Who doesn't like coconut?
Word, God.
So there's an American Pope. Did y'all see that?
There is an American Pope, and that's interesting. Catholic too. A Catholic American
Catholic.
Pope. That's
From Chicago.
surprising.
What was the other option other than Catholic?
Yeah. Be Catholic. To be
Are there Protestant popes?
First Catholic American Pope. You can't change. It doesn't matter what you have to say about it.
So now it's even more ominous that JD Vance was the last person to see the Pope alive, right?
Oh, conspiracy minded.
All makes sense now.
Tinfoil hat immediately.
ask a question to this bunch of lunatics? Okay, so the Pope is American. Does that mean that America has now got a Pope, or does it mean that there's a new Pope in the Vatican that is an American person?
It means
latter.
that the new Pope in the Vatican is of American heritage. Is from America. He's an American citizen. So that's the
But if
first
he's
time.
from Chicago, he's still
Pope
Italian,
and
right?
an American. What's that?
If he's in Chicago, I assume he's still Italian.
I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
I'm sure.
Is
Well, I
it, is
don't-
it
I
a
don't-
remote? Is it a remote Pope? Is he in the Vatican? Or is
Remote.
He's gonna
Yeah.
zoom.
They are they are moving
Telepope.
the seat of
We're
Christian.
remote poping.
You're right.
Have you remote Pope?
Yeah, he's like doing the mass by Zoom.
No, I think it was Alex Miller did a post yesterday. It said communion will never be the same, and it was like a deep dish communion wafer. You know, like Chicago has like the deep dish pizzas. I thought that
That's
was pretty
good.
fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. I mean, it's definitely we live in interesting times. It's a much smaller globe, even than it was. What 15 years? How long was it since? Yeah, I've seen a few popes in my day now. You know, I remember Pope John Paul was the pope when I was born, and he was the pope forever. But then we've
Yeah.
had like
Yes,
this
he
is
was.
the third one
Forever.
since then. Yeah. So it
Can you
is. It's
imagine
an,
if they got like a Gen Z Pope? You know,
what's that?
like a Gen Z Pope. You know how they're doing with Doge? They get like an autistic Pope.
Yeah.
Eventually,
That'll
there's going to
be-
have to be. There's going to have to be. Eventually, there's going to be a Gen Z Pope. That's crazy. He's
I
going
like
to be
it.
like, he's going to be all sorts of like frustrated and angry about everything and stomping his foot and being like, "Why? I don't understand this. Why do we do this way? I'm smarter than everybody."
Gen Z has the first goth Pope.
Emo Pope.
I'm gonna put that into Chat GPT and see what type of image it generates.
Let's see it.
These are the last jokes I need to be making before I cross the border as a brown person. You know.
You know what's got me
I hope
aggravated?
you have a
Not
real
you-
ID.
Man,
Yeah, that's so stupid. I can't believe they resurrected that. They were talking about that stuff like way in the early 2000s, and all of a sudden it just became a thing. That
What?
real ID. Just this
Fortunately,
as if your normal ID isn't good enough in this country to now catch a plane in the wake of like the previous administration flying illegals all over the country through airlines, you know, just willy-nilly with no ID. Now we have to have like an extra super secure ID called a real ID in order to do travel like that. It's
So your
horseshit.
fake ID and your real ID.
Yeah.
It's actually
Basically.
called the Real ID.
It's called the
Right.
Real ID. Well, the Real ID was the law that was passed in like 2002 or something, and
Yeah.
it took this long to actually get it fully. It's been available in my state for a while. So here's my situation. Fortunately I do have a passport, so it won't be an issue. My birthday is the 23rd. My license expires this year on my birthday. I was going to get a Real ID. I could not get an appointment to go get one between now and Vegas. So there's no way I'm going to actually have the license. So I just renewed my regular one. I might be rocking a temporary license, which means that if we're renting a car, we might have to have GP rent it and I'll just pay for it. But you can't, like, there's a huge backlog in people applying for Real IDs because as of 2 days ago, your regular ID, if it's not a Real ID, even though it's maybe a state issued ID, does not qualify you for proof of identity to get on a plane, which may just mean you have to talk to TSA and make sure that they're comfortable with you are who you say you are. But how do you prove that to them if you don't have an acceptable ID? And how does that go? And is it
That is nuts, man. What's the
Fuck
difference
the
between a Real
TSA
ID and a regular
and
ID?
fuck this government. After I've watched people from all corners of the earth come to this place and be shuttled around in airlines, not knowing who they are for years, like it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Like it's inexcusable how insulting and retarded that is.
Yeah, it's
know?
probably going to prevent some of that now. Hopefully that's what this is about, because the only
The government was the ones doing that. That was like taxpayer funded, and you literally had people who work at like Department of Homeland Security and FEMA and all of that nonsense at the spearhead of that. That was all.
Like that was like a big thing during the election, is how they were like shuttle busing and flying illegal immigrants all over the country to sway votes.
Like I love Mel and Mike, but if they show up in the U.S. for Vegas, they can't get a state issued ID. They can't, because they can't prove citizenship. That's enough. Like that's enough. They have to be here on papers of some sort, passport, what have you.
You need to get a visa, yeah.
Yeah, there's no. But why put that burden on the American citizens after you've broken your own laws for years and years and years, because it was politically expedient to do so, and now it's politically expedient to put more requirements on people who are natural born citizens. No, go. I've said
there's also the whole Fourth Amendment where you're supposed to be free in your personal effects and possessions. Right. Your travel's not supposed to be impeded like this. That's why
Alex Miller. That's why Alex Miller's the CEO of Hero. And I'm not, because if I was in a room with all those scumbag fucking politicians, like I just would have been telling them all to go fuck themselves.
You would have started dropping elbows.
Colorful way that I could. Like
look like Bruce Willis, Jack. You would have gone full on Bruce Willis on the.
It's ridiculous. It's like the stablecoin legislation. Like where's our crypto regulation, right? Like. Where does it have? It's stopping because you still, at the end of the day, you have this dying inefficient system still trying to hang on to every bit of power it can, and it's nonsense. I absolutely cannot stand this government.
Yeah, I've got to go. So I lost my birth certificate and my freaking social, and
you
so
don't
I've
have
got
either of those either.
Dude, I had to go to the Social Security office yesterday and make an appointment for that.
How do you get a new social? I feel like I lost that like the last time I moved.
Social Security.
You have to go to the Social Security Administration with your birth certificate and some other forms of ID.
Loki, they got to put that on 10.
So I was like, oh, what am I
What did
supposed
you
to
need?
freaking do about getting my social?
Would you just need your driver's license was fine?
license? That's it. I guess they changed it. I don't know if it's just in my state or what. I'm in South Carolina, so it's who knows.
And for your
But
birth certificate, you need to go to the Office of Vital Records, I think it's called.
and I was born in a different state.
Yeah.
Rough. I gotta take a trip to Georgia to get my real ID, so I'm not subject to extra screening and TSA. It's fucking
So
retarded.
listen, they may not issue that card that day, so you might have to wait in the mail to get it.
Yeah, I've talked.
I would go.
Like a few
Honestly,
different
GP,
times.
you might want to get off the stream now and go.
Drive. Yeah, they said the best way is just to drive across state lines, which is like an hour or two away from me, and then go to either probate or a health department, and they'll be able to help me. I've got the actual copy, the proof of live birth, that they give the parents that says not an official copy on it. So that's the goal. I'm gonna, after the stream, I'm gonna go driving for a little bit.
Well, if you do have to get subject to extra screening, don't forget your "It's Not Gay If It's TSA" shirt. Just
Yeah, dude.
wear that.
Yeah, dude. You gotta get it. Facts. So I want to
It's
do
not in a TSA.
We're going to be so sneaking into Vegas, like in the back of a truck under tarpaulin at this rate.
Oh shit! Please don't say that. I called TSA.
I'm not sure how far it is from Carolina, but from Rhode Island, it's about a 40-hour drive to Vegas. I looked it up because I don't like to fly. I just couldn't justify the time and the added. It would cost me more to drive than to fly. So thought about it though. I really did. I was like, well, I'll have a car there. I can bring all the gear I want. It's all in my car, so I'm there. But it's just I can't drive for 3 days and then be there for 4 days and then drive for 3 more days. Who's going to run all the shows?
Road trips a lot more romantic when you're in your 20s. You
Yeah.
To drive. I'm not driving 40 hours to Vegas, right? So I called TSA. I was like, hey, how much do I really need my real ID? And they're like, pretty sure you'll be able to get on the flight. Don't worry about it. And I was like, then I thought about it. I was like, what if I get to Vegas and it's different? And they're just like, fuck that. You can't leave Vegas. Yeah, so I have to drive today. I got in touch with my old high school and I was like, do you guys have a copy? Because usually they have your transcripts and a copy of your birth certificate from whenever you registered to go there. So they're looking through their records and stuff, but I don't have time to wait, and I don't want to get stuck in Vegas. So I'm driving today.
All right, man. Sorry, it's not a fun process, but it'll be worth it when we're hanging out at DeOrganized house with the crew, and hopefully it'll be worth it. I don't know. Mike's making me a little nervous now.
Are you going, Jack?
What's that?
Are you going to Vegas?
It's iffy. It's real iffy. Right now it's looking like it's not, but there is a possibility that I can go. It's just I don't know. It's going to be one of those close call things. I've got
It depends on Mrs. Binswitch.
That's a lot of it. My wedding anniversary Sunday, and usually, like if I go to Vegas, it's just going to be me. And so, by the way, young guys who aren't married yet, or maybe you guys who are just now married, like you always have to be considerate of your spouse. It's very easy to be like, oh yeah, this is my chick, and I'm gonna do what I need to do, and yeah, it don't always work that way. So it's hard to justify like having a scaled down anniversary, meanwhile piecing out for Vegas if you want to have any peace when you get back. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's it is what it is. I mean, My wife's
Are
not
you-
happy about it, especially I'm leaving her with a
Puppy.
he's right now
Puppy.
5.5-month-old German Shepherd who's really likes to bite everybody. Like not really, but puppy biting. So you know, I'm gonna have to
Oh, he's
do a
gonna
lot of
learn.
he's,
gonna learn.
we're getting into puppy school, but it's just tough because he's not doing anything wrong. He's just doing what he naturally wants to do, and he's not actually biting. He is just play biting, but it hurts. You know, it really does. It hurts. It cuts. It's not nice. So it's tough. But that's my biggest hurdle is she's not happy about that situation.
And Rosa,
I still
are you going?
What up?
Are you going to Vegas?
It's indeterminate right now. I've told myself if I can get this job offer like finalized by next week, I'll pull the trigger on it. But otherwise, I can't be distracted with trips and spending money. I don't know. Just like I gotta get a job by next week. Personal goal. Also,
Might be hard to take a week off in Vegas if you're starting a new gig.
It's like
unless it's stacks / crypto related.
Unless.
So we'll see.
Orange was talking about maybe trying to make the trip since we were talking about having a place. What you think you're going to make it, Orange?
No, it's too much for this moment. Too short term.
Too short term. The flights are getting expensive now. I ended up I was going to book on Monday, and I waited. My flight was going to be about $300, and it ended up being like $470 2 days later. So I'm sure it's going to be,
So yesterday it was around 1800, and it is the last time I checked, it was 1950 something around that. So with 150
$2,000 just to fly in.
Which is crazy.
Exactly.
Vegas should be like hurting for business right now. Like they should really, even for like having a Bitcoin conference there, Vegas has been so slow. You should think everything should be super cheap. They should be trying to get as many people in there as possible.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because there has been a documentary about someone who has left the casino scene, the hotel scene within Las Vegas, and she told that the things that are happening right now is mass layoffs. It's so slow. They are expecting the recession. Rooms are cheaper than ever before. It's quiet. It's really, really getting to the point of scary for like the economy.
Yeah, they should be. They should be like it should not be more expensive. It should be less expensive. They need the business, And I mean that Bitcoin conference is getting to such a size that it's a boon to whatever city it goes to, and
right.
I don't know. They should be giving those flights away, man.
There's $3 billion worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum options expiring today. I didn't know that.
Just saw that too. Yeah, that's a lot of options expiring.
Yeah.
There's at about 100. I can't remember the figure, but at about $110,000 Bitcoin, you have a lot of shorts that were looking to get wrecked. Giga wrecked.
Oh, above 100K.
110. Yeah.
Oh, at a 110.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know that we have the momentum to hit that this weekend. We could though. We could. Look how fast we just chewed up from 80K to 100.
Yes.
Yeah. People always talk about like, $1 million Bitcoin. And if you look at, how long it's taken you to get to $100,000 Bitcoin, even if it's exponentially faster, it's still like to get to $1 million. That's a people, I think they underestimate, how long that's going to take. You see people say about like 2026, 2027. I don't know. I think maybe like 2030s, for $1 million. But this should be one hell of a ride, man.
Yeah, that's what Shiflet was saying. Is like, his range for this year, this coming year, is like in between 200 and 300K, and then by like 2028, in between 2028 and 2029, like a milli.
Don't you think the guys who say those numbers are really seriously just making them up, but they are delusional enough to believe they're right?
Well, some of it's clickbait,
You
right?
can't really predict the future. Tomorrow there could be like, I mean, I don't think you can ever say. Has anybody ever been right with that stuff? Just lucky.
I remember from last cycle that they were screaming 100K this cycle, 100K this Ethereum to 10K, and we have seen we didn't pass 70. So it's always up in the air to make estimates that are overinflated because of FOMO, because of greed.
I think any estimate is just a guesstimate.
Guys, it's just about time for Find to Earn. I think the Game Master is on his way. Real quick before I run it, just going to have a quick word from our amazing partners, StackingDAO and Flow.
I don't see the skull.
It
Where's
is
the
time.
Game Master? There it is.
Let's go.
He is here in his true form. How are you today, sir?
GM, everyone, still undead, which is better than most. As eternal as ever, let's go.
It is time to play Find to Earn rounds. We have 5 rounds today, sponsored by RooCoin, LeoCoin, Bitcoin Pepe, the only Pepe that matters, Flat Earth Coin, and Fact Fun. And I think that's it right now. Is that correct, sir?
Yeah, it's right. Today we start from the RooCoin for newcomers. We shuffle these rounds every week, every day. And today will be the ROO, the first round. Everyone should repost, like. And if you wanna go to whitelist and participate, remember you can just leave the comment under Skullcoin. We will add you, but don't create the multi-accounts. We will comment already on the person. Just remember, we can find you. I have the best tech team ever. Like, I have the team that, like, security, we can find your account, we can find your location. I will find you if you create a multi-account.
So like and share the game rounds, share the live stream, get in the game.
Just for fun, I will add Melanie and Michael. You can play this newcomer game just for fun. Yeah, let's go. It will be very funny.
Let's go.
Game.
Mike, you're gonna share your screen, or Melanie, are you gonna? Well, he's not. She's not ready for that yet.
I happily share my screen. It's just I don't know how to. Like. It's too much for me. Because I play it on my phone.
Yeah, it's right. So you can't. The screen share function is not the same with that. Not a problem. Not a problem. Well, Mike's an old hat at this now, so he knows how to do it.
Yeah, people who play like on the desktop sometimes have advantage, but we have players who play on the phone and winning, so it depends on you.
So again, the first rule of Find to Earn on DeOrganized is you must like and share out the live stream. If you are the first one to find the round prize, the location for the prize, and you submit it first, but you did not share out the live stream, you will lose your prize. It'll go to the next fastest finder or the next fastest hunter. So make sure you like and reshare the live stream, share out the post. And it helps us grow. This is actually good for everybody. It makes the games more engaging, and it gives us an opportunity to do more games and have more prizes for you the more viewership we get for these. So please do share out the stream. It's very important.
Yeah, and we add like Melanie and Michael to every game, so live panel we compete with newcomers because like it's honest competition since Michael and Melanie only the 2 humans and there is another 48 humans participating. Okay, we are ready to launch. Who wanna count down? Let's go, Michael. Will you count down?
10, 8, 6, 3, 1,
Go!
0.
Okay, the game is on. First round for ROO. Everyone repost, like, ROO to the moon. Let's go. If you didn't repost and drop the location, I will not count you.
And also, you guys should definitely be following Skullcoin BTC on X. Not all of the Find to Earn rounds are played live on DeOrganized. You can find rounds in Discord, rounds in Spaces on X. You only can know about these if you're following Skullcoin BTC and or tuning in regularly to DeOrganized, because we'll let you know when there's going to be game rounds everywhere. But you should definitely be following Skullcoin BTC to make sure that you know when you have the opportunity to Find to Earn.
Okay, the first game all the time very easy. You have just to go like the forward, on the left, on the right. It's just an easy game to understand how to play, to just learn from the Google Street View how to. You can play using your keyboard. You can just use arrows on the or like keyboard, like playing FPS game. It's very easy. And you know, like the Google, the Apple, they upgrading these maps every day, every time. So it's very good for us. Okay, we have. I believe we have already 2 answers. No, this is not the right location. You have to find the bus. You have to find the bus, and we have Miracle, new player. He found the bus.
Nice.
Yeah, let's go. He has for whitelist. He seems like a legit. But the truck, the black truck, still in the game.
I found the prize.
Michael was so close. He gets distracted by
Drop
his
it,
lead.
Mel, drop it. Melanie said she found it.
No, I found the other one. As you said it, I found the bus.
Yeah, the people found the bus. Now you have to find the truck.
The black truck.
Let's go.
What are these guys doing?
Yeah, right. It's like Reservoir Dogs in Guatemala. Reservoir Doggos.
Such a damn good movie.
TikTok.
All right, let's see over here. What are you doing? What's that? Huh? Escuela Oficial Rural Mixta Pacaja.
What does that say?
You don't need a real ID to cross the border.
Roasted.
Real IDOs.
Oh shit.
Real adios.
Yeah. See, look, you can get a passport at this office right here. See? That's where
Right
you get
there,
your real ID.
That's where you get your real ID. Thanks for helping out, dude.
Okay, still looks like we have winners like Web3, BoE, they found the black truck. Let's go. Let's go.
Man, somebody got excited about this car.
I've just found the black truck as well. I mean,
Somebody's really enthusiastic about this vehicle.
Let's go.
someone found it. Okay, I like Michael's screen sharing. I could watch this. It's
Okay, like what I can see right now. Let's check. Let's check. This who also the drop the track. Let's check. Let's make some security checks.
So maybe it must still post it. Maybe I'll put it back.
Okay, listen. This person found the track. Okay, Web3 BoE. I give you the winner, but I will not give you the prize because you are the multi-account of the other account, Emilia.stx.
Oh,
So, if you're gonna play our
Oh,
games,
fuck.
remember, if I found the multi-account more, I will ban the both accounts. So scare because like I will found you. So this prize will
Oh.
go just with we will just give this prize to Melanie.
Let's go.
Nice.
I love you, Benny.
I don't think I've gotten closer to finding anything, but I am having a good time.
No, Michael, you're amazing.
Am I right? Check.
As long as you're having a good time, that's all that matters.
Yeah, right? I'm trying to find I'm trying to do ICE's job for them. Hey, where you going, lady? Hey.
They don't
Hey.
need the help.
No?
No. They don't need the help. And to be honest with you, while I
will
I
find
agree
you.
with
and
respecting the law, and I agree with people being, you know, if you're a violent criminal, you should be dealt with accordingly. In any event, you know, no matter what your immigration status is. But I do think that going back to the same thing that's making it harder for us to travel, and the Fourth Amendment and the right to be secure in your possessions and your effects and your person. How do you know I'm a citizen or not? That dictates how the government should be forced to act, not for everybody. The government shouldn't be able to walk up to somebody and demand that they prove their citizenship either. You know, so it's
You
complicated.
know, that's something that is such an incredible point because one of the biggest problems about South Africa's history was that certain people could walk around without IDs on them, and certain people had to walk around with IDs. And if asked for it, they would have to produce it. And that is the basis of our horrific laws here, is having to prove the right to be in the country that you're in. You know, like somebody said earlier, it's up to the government to protect the wrong people from coming into the country. Once you're in there, you should be free.
Right. And or we already have a very robust legal system to deal with people that get out of line. If we so choose to do so, we probably don't actually adequately address that in a lot of cases. We're too busy incarcerating people that are nonviolent offenders and costing money that way. But we have the ability to find criminals and put them in jail and segregate them from the society, and we do that. So I just think that things could be a lot less restrictive and more open, and I think we'd all be better off for it in a large degree.
Yeah.
Not to
if
try
you
to
wanna-
get into that.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go. Let's continue. We have one more whitelist game, and if I found any like multi-account, I will ban you from the game, and I will find you in real life. Okay, let's go.
The game master
Alright.
don't play.
That's so cool. I want you on my team, Zenny.
He is on our team.
Yeah, yes. But I mean, I'd like to walk into the club with Zenny. I feel very safe. If I went clubbing, I mean, obviously I don't say that like I go to a club.
You don't go
Yeah, I
clubbing
leave the
anymore.
comment to this game, to this player. I write saying you mastered of art of duplication, but unfortunately the treasure goes to 1 soul per player. No prize this time. Let's go. Let's continue.
Melanie's the winner.
Again?
Melanie
We
and
have
Merrick.
Melanie and one more person. Yeah, 2 winners today.
Let's go.
Let's play.
Is Merrick
What did
a
I
new player?
I win ROO, my favorite coin.
You won some ROO today, Mel.
Woohoo! Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Zenny. Thank you for making ROO coin, Jack.
Oh, ROO is awesome. I'm so proud of everyone who's been winning on Find to Earn. You guys are going to have a good bull run. You know, this is awesome.
This is definitely the time to be accumulating some ROO, or has been. I mean, it's definitely got more upside from here. But man, if you got in on early March and you were winning some ROO, you were getting some. You're way up on those.
Can I tell you something? My little bits that I've been winning from, because that's the only money I've got in my wallet is the money that I've been winning for this. And I promise you, it's so cute. It started off at, it's like literally going up. It's like the funnest thing ever.
It's growing.
Yeah.
If you hodl, it'll grow.
I'm telling you, it's the way.
I'm not gonna lie. The things that I've won have gone up like really well. So
Yeah.
I'm very bummed out that I couldn't win ROO, to be honest. So thank you, Jack, for not including me.
I don't know, man. You've been winning it all. You got a meme coin stash that should be the envy of most people in the space at this
I
point.
know, you probably got enough to Vegas there from your Find to Earn, Orange.
You probably got more ROO than me by now.
What did somebody just write there that was so funny? Was it Hero?
Let's go.
Hero-
Let's launch the
Hero
next game
said
and
that,
continue conversation. We have one more game for whitelist.
Okay, we got another game coming up for Whitelist, and this is sponsored by which coin, sir?
It will be for Leo.
So we got Leo coin, we got ROO coin. ROO coin and Leo coin are like the two staples of Find to Earn. They've been with us since the beginning, since we started doing it. both of them are tremendous community coins on Stacks. All the cool stuff that Jack's been innovating. We'll be talking with Jack a little bit about that later. Also, huge shout out to Rubes, who was the founder of Leo Coin, and all the stuff he's contributing to our ecosystem as well. You guys definitely need to be taking advantage of the opportunity right now to accumulate some of these tokens in the middle of the bull run at these prices. You really have some great opportunities here. And you can win them today, but just by playing some games with us. It's a really great opportunity for our ecosystem, what we have here.
Man, it's probably no accident that Roo and Leo, Leo and Roo are number 1 and number 2 in liquidity in the ecosystem right now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I saw that. I didn't realize Leo was that high, too. I saw Roo specifically the other day when George was showing us Stacks Watch. Yeah, man, tremendous liquidity. Liquidity. That's a huge. If you guys are looking at investing in some meme tokens or any tokens on Stacks, STX Tools, STX Watch, they give you all the data that you need to do your own research and make sure you know what you're getting into. Compare the liquidity, compare the token distribution, the supply, and all of that stuff, so you know what you're getting into.
Okay, who wanna count down? Let's go.
Michael,
The
you should
hunt
do it again.
begins. Let's
If
go.
Michael I want to know if Michael can actually just count down from 5.
What language are we using today?
English.
Tried alien.
Do Roman numerals.
All right.
That's a good one.
V. IV. I. I.
Okay,
Oh my God, this would be the new way
I
to
do it
count
like
that.
a 0. Let's go. The game is on.
They didn't have zeros in Roman numerals, right?
Let's go, Michael, Melanie, if you wanna, you can play this game also. And we have 50 players in whitelist. Let's go. Leo coin and True just up only, just skyrocketing. So
Guys, don't forget to like and repost the game rounds. We got a lot of likes, not as many reposts. It's important that you repost the rounds as well. You got to be a new account. You can't be a duplicate fake new account. You got to be a real account. You got to share out the stream. You got to share out the game round posts. It's 3 easy rules. This one on the left, the first one, with all that clutter in the yard and the pool up on the thing, that's like stressing me out to the max. I want to go tidy up that
As a realtor, you're like, we gotta up your curb value, man. Come on.
I can never sell that place. GP, I had a showing last Thursday. It's been over a week, and I still have no offers. Price is too high, and the owner doesn't want to hear it. But what do I know? We've only shown it.
This one's got a dog chilling in the road.
Oh, in the road.
Yeah, I'm trying to zoom in. Yeah, he's just taking a nap.
It's a dog's life, man. Dogs got it so easy. People give them domesticated dog. The domesticated dog has it real easy.
okay, we have winners already. We have Tamil Chat and Munya.btc.
Both of them. Wow, well, way to go, Hunters. That was really great. That was real fast.
Let's go. Yeah, Tamil is a Chad. Let's go.
So we both found.
Yeah, they found the both locations. Let's go.
Congratulations.
All right, Orange, your turn. Show them how it's done.
Yes, sir. Yeah, ready.
Okay, the next games will be open for everyone, so everyone can compete. It doesn't matter what level do you have. It's a just easy, fun game. You can just spend like 20 seconds. Just drop yellow pigment, just open any Google Street View. You can be lucky. So it doesn't take any time, any frustration. You can just try and try to win.
All right. So the next 3 rounds are open rounds for everybody. You guys all have an opportunity to play. You don't have to be on a whitelist. If you are looking, if you're a new player and you're looking to get on the whitelist round for next week, you just got to drop a comment in the live chat or underneath one of the game rounds or under the live stream. Let us know that you want to be added, and we'll get you added to the whitelist group. And then if you want to be added to the bronze and silver whitelist, well, then you have to win some rounds and get on the leaderboard. So you have to participate. And the open rounds are open for everybody. And by the way, we have definitely had new winners win some of the open rounds and beat some of the pro circuit players. So don't be shy and don't think that because it's an open round that you don't have a chance. Everybody has a chance to win, and it's just sometimes it's very much luck based.
Yeah, you just don't like spend a time. You just can try like 20, 10 seconds. Let's go. Okay. Let's be prepared to the next game. We have the game for, I believe, the next game. Okay, I see. Like the next game will be the flat game, double rounds, 2 winners. Each winner will receive 9,000 of flat. Are you ready, mortals?
We are ready, sir.
Okay, crypt is open for business. Let's go.
Are you going to show my screen, please?
Yes. Yes,
Awesome.
sir. Sorry. Extra.
Let me share one picture to the PeaceLoveMusic so everyone can get focused.
Cool. Yeah, guys, get back. The game's going to be launching very shortly. I will display one. Is this two? There's 2 images for this game, or just
Yeah,
one?
will be 2 images. I will just show one of 2.
Okay, so let me.
You have to find this car on this position, this location.
All right. So real quick, this is the image you will be looking for. You're in the factory, or you're near that factory. There might be a digger, a backhoe over on the right-hand side there. Are you actually gonna see a car with a bunch of globes in the trunk?
Yeah, no, there is no globes, but there is a car.
The car will
with
be
this
there.
position and situation. Yeah.
Very
This
cool.
is
So you got
evidence that the world is not flat.
the world is not flat, but in certain respects, maybe it is. You know, there's more to life
We
than just
are
physical.
ready. Who will count down? Let's go. 2 episodes, not so hard games. Let's go. Just how to play, everyone. Just open satellite view, see where it can be, just predict and drop yellow pigment, start from the location and win. Easy. Okay, let's go. See the patterns, decode the patterns.
Orange, you want to give us the countdown?
99, 98, 97, 96, 95, 0. Go.
Let's go. The game is on.
Let's go.
Refresh Skullcoin. Like, repost the game. Like, repost the stream. Let's go. Flat globes.
I will say, I do actually really think that the Flat Earth team is great. They've done some really cool stuff in our ecosystem as well. So I'm super excited to have them participating.
Yeah, and we're helping them. We're just making this narrative go.
Yeah, I think that game that they're doing with UAP is going to be cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that too. Similar to something Jack was describing.
Yeah.
Like a civilization
Yeah,
game where
Age of
you like,
Empires type of stuff.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. We still have no winner, but this game's not so hard. And we'll have 2 more games today. One for Factory Fun and double game for Pepe.
Still nothing, huh?
Yeah, still nothing.
So it's not that easy.
Yeah, it means like it's not so close. Not on the starting location. Okay, maybe Orange will share his play. Orange found this globe car, I believe, yeah. Orange, share your screen, please, in future. Because, like, we are just on the picture.
Orange is on. Yeah, that's orange. Orange is up there. Is that that's the location for the? Yeah, okay. So orange has the second image.
Yeah, I believe people, you're just so slow today.
Just giving you a lesson today.
It's
If
Friday.
you
We're
really
not.
look at the picture, so I'm going to share how I'm doing it. So the picture shows a building which is square and a building that is curving. So you know at least it's not square. If you go back to Google Maps and you zoom out, the only place here in the whole map which has a curve is this place right here. So the only thing I do is I drop it here and bang, it's there. It's not really hard, but you have to know what you're looking for.
Interesting.
Okay, we have also Defy Dictator. We have a lot of players who found, but it was later. Okay, we have 2 more games. Let's launch. We are ready. Everyone get back. We have 2 more games. We are ready to launch Factory Fun game. Let's count down again. I will bring the countdown. Everyone get back from the Flat Earth game. And Orange shows how he plays, so you just improve your skill. Factory Fun. Let me check. Check.
I just wonder how you get the job of assistant boyfriend. That's a interesting position. It almost sounds like it's like being a grandparent, you know? You get all the benefits of having the kids, but then you get to like give them back.
Wait, an assistant boyfriend. What did I miss?
One of our players is assistant boyfriend.btc.
Ah. Okay, so is that just assistant to the boyfriend? Like you got to do the boring shit?
I don't know. That's what. Like I was thinking, maybe it's like a grandparent, you know, but maybe that's
like, hey, don't forget her birthday. You know, don't forget your anniversary.
It's what the girl would have as an assistant boyfriend. So you would have an assistant boyfriend.
When the boyfriend isn't pulling the weight, doing all the stuff he needs to get done, you have an assistant boyfriend that helps him.
No, you only have an assistant boyfriend. The term boyfriend was very last year. just have an assistant boyfriend. He just comes when you need your needs filled. The rest of the time you can crack off.
Okay, we are ready. Let's go. I'm making countdown. The game starts soon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. The
Let's
game is
go.
on. It's a single game for factory fun. Everyone can win, play. Let's go. Not so hard. And we have 2 more games for Pepe. Just focus and be fast. Sometimes you have to be fast. Sometimes you have to be smart. But the luck is in the game also.
Every time you have to like and repost the game round.
Yeah, the people are saying in our secret chats, Calcon Sigma, that Twitter notifications messed up today. They didn't receive notification. Yeah, that's
Really?
it's about like the Elon Musk. Okay, this game we have already winner is Circunlingus. It was an easy game. Circunlingus, congrats, and we have 2 more games for the Pepe. Let's go. Circunlingus find his dogs and the house. He was faster than Winnie for 20 seconds.
Very cool. So we have Bitcoin Pepe round, and it's going to be a double round again.
It will be double round, yeah. Last for today, double round. Everyone get opportunity to win these prizes.
All right. Well, very quick before we launch that, I'm just going to read out a little bit. Take a moment to recognize our tremendous marketing partners in the space. We are very, very fortunate to have 2 awesome marketing partners with DeOrganized. StackingDAO is the leading liquid staking platform for the Stacks network. StackingDAO is changing the game by letting users earn up to 10% APY on their STX while keeping their assets liquid. Unlike traditional staking, their unique design means no minimums, and users start earning rewards immediately, so there are 0 switching costs when moving from other stacking pools. Plus, you've got options. You can choose to get rewards in STX or SBTC, whatever fits your strategy. You want to start earning today, head over to StackingDAO.com and jump on in. StackingDAO is where liquidity meets opportunity. And Bitflow is your go-to DEX on Stacks, the only place where you can trade native BTC alongside top tokens like STX, SBTC, USDC, and runes, including Liquidium's LIQ and ROO runes. It aggregates the best swap rates from Alex, Arcadico, and Velar into one seamless platform. This week, Bitflow rolled out a major platform upgrade with the launch of Flex Pools, starting with the new STSTX STX pool. Flex Pools are designed for liquid staking tokens like STSTX, offering deeper liquidity, smarter auto rewards, and the flexibility to provide assets in any ratio. It's a smarter way to earn with lower slippage and higher APYs for dynamic assets. If you're yield farming or stacking STX, this is one to check out. Visit app.bitflow.finance/pool to get started now. And here we are. We should be just about ready for that final round. We are waiting for the game master to give us the green light as to when it's ready to go.
Yeah, we're about to ready. Sometimes we'll downgrade the difficulty to give opportunity our new players, our newcomers to win, so everyone can win. Like I believe yesterday, the Fuck Fun game, there was winner, just a new player. That's very cool, because we have a lot of players who play 3-4 months straight or more. I just lost in the time. Okay.
So, sadboy.stx is asking if Bitflow Dex has a native token. As of right now, they do not. It is expected that they may launch a token or may have a token generating event at some point, but it's not guaranteed. You can earn points though on Bitflow by participating in the network, trading and providing liquidity and whatnot. So likely that will translate into a token for Bitflow, a native token at some time, but as of right now, they do not have one. Stacks is the native token of Bitflow.
Yeah, and Bitflow, the BFF token, it's a matter of if. It's a matter of when, not if. It's coming.
I just
Okay,
like to
we're ready.
over deliver.
Let's launch the last game. Today, the people say notification is messed and doesn't work, but
you're gonna watch it
anyway,
watch it live. You'll know when we launched it.
yeah, just watch it live and you will know. That's exactly how it works. Okay, I will make countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. The game is on. Last game, double game for Pepe. You have to find this tree or this situation on the road from the Pepe.
I knew Pepe would drive that kind of hot car too. Just know it, right?
Yeah, let's go. Orange shows how he plays.
Quiet town over here. There's not a lot of cars. In Tasmania.
Wasn't Tasmania a kind of Disney action figure kind of animal?
The Tasmanian Devil is a Looney Tunes character. Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Okay, we have DeFi Dictator and I believe maybe Orange. I will check. DeFi Dictator find this.
DD's doing real good.
Yeah, DeFi Dictator found this slow down thing.
Let's go.
Traffic. The traffic workers.
Let me check. Yeah, it's just like 3 steps. Okay, we'll count this one. DeFi Dictator Grats. And this one is the orange. I'm just checking at the same time. Everyone just found the tree, but you know, like orange playing for the stream and he was just faster a little bit. But you can just repeat the stream how easy he found it. Winner DeFi Dictator and the orange for today. Okay, grats. DeFi Dictator found this one Pepe and the second one.
Very good.
Yeah, notification back today. So we will have 4 more games tonight in this Discord. So come and play there.
You know what the best thing is about that? I might not be playing because it's too late for me.
Yeah, Orange not playing like in Discord. Orange will not come to play and so everyone can compete, and we will make in Discord maybe whitelist in future, and we will make a games in our Skullcoin Discord in future also. So participate in our Discord, and there will be whitelist for silver, gold, bronze. So we just make elo for the different player skills, because Orange played like for the 5 months. He's very good, but we want everyone to get up and understand how it is. Let's go.
yeah, jump into the Discord. Yep, I'm gonna make a post.
There's basically no reason not to.
Chance to win some money.
It's amazing what you've done, Xenitron. I remember first back in the day where we were doing the D grants and you would come on all the spaces. You know, people often wonder, like, what is the secret to success? You know, and so many people, specifically in the industry I work in, people always say it's like an overnight success. And that is because they really only see kind of a very small part of the iceberg of what really happened. And because there weren't also a lot of people around when you know, and you have like just relentlessly showed up and built this. And I just like if I could wish radical success on anyone, it would be you because you just show up and you do it, you know. And this is how it's done. If people want to know how it's done, look at Xenotron's journey.
Step one, show up every day and keep pushing.
Yep. Show up and talk about what you're doing. You know, just don't be, you know, all the times that kind of, you know, he was on those spaces, he just kept saying the same thing over and over. He was, you know, this was the vision and it was going to happen. So it's really people.
And there's way more to come with the strike.
Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, GK. But the idea is bigger than this. We just like talking about like new genre of games and the idea to find the NFTs in future. It's not even the game. It's like how to success. You have to make competition. You have to develop the competition that AI cannot compete and bots cannot compete. That's the idea. That's very difficult, but we are. You know, like one person said. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm on my way. Let's go.
Exactly. But that's the thing, you know, even, I mean, I know that the vision is so much bigger than this because, I mean, I think I've known you for like, what is it? It's a year or more or something, I don't know. But the fact that because I don't, you know, it's like, because the chain or stacks isn't ready for your vision, doesn't mean you kind of walked away and thought, oh, well, I'll come back when it is ready. You kind of, you've got the bigger vision, but you're still kind of building that network where we are, you know. It's huge, like examples of how to be successful, I think.
Yeah, and just imagine like only like 1% in crypto knows about our game, our project, about the organized show. It will be much, much bigger in future.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea about like to make complete game, you know, like first of all, we long story short, we need very easy tutorial on our website. You have just to find like one easy location. And this is the first step. The second step, it will be on chain. That very cheap, affordable to everyone means like 1 stacks. And these games will transfer on chain. That's idea. And in future we'll create this strike. It means like everyone just can drop the link, invite everyone to play very easy games. That's how to, you know, like the road to mass adoption can go only through simplicity. It should be very simple because people want to like simple emotions. They want to have fun, joy. They don't want to complicate things. And the fine turn is kind of complicate things. Sometimes you don't want to be the like puzzle solver. That's why we developed Strike to make it like complete picture. You have your character, you have your alternative reality. That's the idea. And our, you know, our main like the goal slogan, it sounds like this. Your reality is the ultimate game.
Like it.
I like it too. Really great stuff.
Okay, man.
We are actually transitioned into the ROO Friday segment right now.
Let's go.
Jack, how's things going in the ROO ecosystem? We did touch on the fact that you are up there with Leo as having the most liquid one of the most liquid meme tokens on Stacks. How's things going with the ROO community?
There's some happy brews right now. That's for sure. And I mean, I think people don't understand how small the Stacks community is relative to other communities, despite the fact that and that's largely due to Stacks being an organic project, and it's got this organic community. And anybody who's been here for a while can tell you, like, Stacks has never gone over the top with marketing, anything like that. It's just been a steady build and iteration, and now we're at this point where, even now on the 15th, they're going to raise the cap for the final time for SBTC. So it's like Stacks is on the main stage now, and people are starting to pay attention. And memes, meme coins in general are not going away. They're ubiquitous with crypto. It's something that people like to do. And in Stacks, you have a lot of really community coins. I mean, all of these coins represent different people within the Stacks community who like to support this ecosystem and who believe in this ecosystem. And they all have a slightly different flavor. And ROO's focus has been on the community side to, be a place where people can come in, they can learn, they can grow. And it's also been on the token side. It was designed to be a token that would have very good liquidity, would not be subject to pump and dumps, would have a very good distribution, and all of this with the end goal of seeing, okay, how good of a meme coin can you purposefully make, and to try to make it, I hate to say for people who are less risk averse, but in that sense, it's a token that you can look at the distribution, you can look at the metrics, and you can be like, okay, I don't have to worry about getting stuck in this thing. I can get in and out. I can stay in. I can join the community, and I can be a part of that aspect. Or this is just a beta play on STX, and it looks like a good risk, to reward ratio. So to answer your question, yeah, you've had some happy brews. I mean, this has been some great price action. You're not going to find too many tokens that have a market cap to liquidity ratio like ROO does. It's relatively, well, it's not relatively rare. It's extraordinarily rare in this space.
Yeah, you're very unlikely to find any.
If you had, and that again, because it doesn't all have to be pump and dumps. Not everyone that comes into crypto, it used to be back in the day, you would go and you'd buy a token and you feel comfortable sitting on it, and watching everything grow. And that's kind of like how ROO's old school in that way. That the idea that the community's small, that it would grow tremendously at some point, and if you look back from when ROO was launched, March of last year, we really kind of launched it around the high, because that was around the first time that the Nakamoto protocol was supposed to go live. And then we had a fair launch, no insiders, no whales, and we've managed to go through an entire bear market cycle here on Stacks. And so now you've got this, mature price action. You've got this mature community. It was up until recently when probably around, when did the market really shit the bed? Around January is when
it really, since it peaked into the middle of December, and then right around Christmas is when it started, like just before Christmas is when it started to back.
So up until then, anyone who was like an original buyer of Brew had never been out of profit since they bought. And so since this, since around Christmas, then people have had a great entry. And yeah, so Roo sits here ready for the for the people to come discover stacks. And
now I know I know a lot of your community was built or was getting together in console. So console has shut down. You guys are you guys creating a Discord channel? I know you have a really strong Telegram presence, lots going on there. But is there a Discord coming for the ROO Brews?
There will be. I have to finish building it. It's just been busy on my end. But yeah, we're gonna reluctantly go to the Discord. I liked console. Console was cool.
Console was cool. It was all the cool things that Discord had with a lot of extra cool stuff around it. A lot of security. It was on chain. I thought it was great too. It's too bad that it fell apart. But I do think that a Discord presence for ROO is warranted based on how much activity you guys had in that. You guys were the largest console community, actually. So be on the lookout for the Discord. Get into the Telegram.
What I liked about console was that you could have some different mods and admins in there. And really with Discord, if you're in a crypto community, you have to be super careful adding anyone as a moderator because it's just so easy for, Discord
to get hacked and then lose you're right. Oh, we know. We saw it happen twice with the Node Rocks Discord. And those guys know what they're doing, by the way. Like that wasn't even like just novel new people. They know what they're doing and they still got, Fuddy got hacked twice and we lost the control of the Discord 2 times. And it's, that can be that can be an absolute night. Fortunately, no one got drained, but that's like there was no negative outcomes for the community except for the scare of it. But Discord is not as secure as console was. Unfortunately, there just wasn't enough demand for that security to migrate enough to support the continued development of console. But the ROO Brews will persevere.
Yeah, console was a matter of being too early to a concept and an idea, and not having enough attention to see the idea really bloom. That's my opinion. But yeah, so we will have the Discord, and I'll probably just wind up being the only mod, because and again, that's not foolproof because these guys, these scammers, they get more creative every day, every day. And you the old scams, all, but then you can only mitigate so much risk.
Yeah, Jack, I agree. I'm just want to say, like, the person who I'd find the cheats, he just DM me and ask about why I just stripe an innocent player of their reward, but I just drop the comments with the same wallet he provides for receive like some airdrops from 2 accounts, the same wallet, like each wallet the unique public address have. And that's funny, people. Just don't try to cheat Stacks, ROO, Skullcoin, whatever, the organized show. We will find you.
Yeah. No, I mean it's crazy how hard people try to exploit. There's just there's so many new people in the space, and you don't even have to be new to get scammed or to lose access or any of that stuff. But yeah, we're gonna have the Discord upcoming because we got too much stuff coming up not to have one. Telegram's fine, but it's really not as good as Discord in terms of creating that immersive community dynamic. It's good for messaging. That's about it.
Right on. Yeah, Telegram is hard to follow the conversation the same and stuff like that. it's especially for me. I'm in it a lot more now just because I have to be to communicate with so many people we're communicating all the time with in the ecosystem. But I do think that Discord is probably a way better place to manage a community versus
100%.
Telegram. So
yeah, and it's important too, because one of the things we did with ROO that I've really enjoyed was really incorporating as much culture into it as we can, especially on the art side. And you know, having people, you know, it's easier to run meme contests, it's easier to run art contests. You know, it's easier to when you onboard an artist into the community for them to just, you know, run concepts by everybody. We've had so much ROO art made that's not officially a part of the collection. It's massive. Like if you go on Gamma and you look at all the different ROO NFT collections, you know, none of them were like official. It was all community led, and you know, it's been a really fun way to do it, because you know where I come from in this space is that, you know, this isn't just a financial revolution or a movement of financial significance. It's also a cultural revolution, and art's a massive part of that. And yeah, I when we first started ROO, when we were getting all the plans in order, GPSC was one of the first guys I reached out to, and he was like, "Dude, I'm all over this." And that leads into the other part of it, you know, being, you know, making stuff for ROO and making stuff for Stacks Invaders and being such a big part of the community, you know, allowed for, like, you know, allowed, and this was by design, allowed GPSC to be able to use that hype and use all those things to launch. And that offer was and is available to like any artist out there. That's again how the cultural aspect works in tandem with, you know, the big green candles, right?
Yeah, I learned a lot working with the ROO Brews, man. You know, it shined a light on what I was doing, getting to work with you, and it helped me grow. I learned a lot about being a community leader through the ROO Brews, and kind of like paying attention to how people are moving. And you know, I can't stress it enough that anybody that wants to get their start can do it. You know, we work in a decentralized, permissionless environment, and that, I mean, as soon as you said that you needed artists, it was like it made sense. It made sense as an artist to get with you and you know, work with ROO.
Yeah. Well, and I would go so far as to say that was one of the springboard events that got GP into all of the collabs he started getting into and ingratiating himself into the community, giving him opportunities to help people build very selflessly, by the way. A lot of that was all without any personal gain. It was just for the experience and the networking and building friendships and relationships, and that led to more opportunities and more opportunities for him. And now he's getting his opportunities with Zest and StackingDAO, obviously a tremendous partner, you know, part of our team and what we're doing here. So my point in saying that is there's opportunity here, and it starts with getting involved in a community like ROO. Go and participate in the Telegram and the Discord and participate in the events. Get to know the other people that are in that community and find people that are building stuff. Give them a hand. Find where you fit in. Find the spots, the gaps that you can fill in. And that makes you better. It makes them better. And it makes us all better as a community. That's what... Go ahead, Jack.
Well, that's a value that's hard to quantify, you know, right? Like it's hard to like tie that to a chart, right? But you know, and it's not just GP. 300 has exploded, right? And I mean, he was, he became the community manager for ROO on the Twitter side. And there's other people who you see in these various meme coin communities today throughout Stacks who got their start in ROO. And so that gets back to the cultural part. That gets back to the, teaching people how to be, productive, active members in the greater ecosystem, and giving people a launch pad. And you can't quantify that. And if you don't participate, if you're not on that level of things in the ecosystem, you don't understand that this is even a phenomena that exists, right? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, you're in your own bubble, you're doing your own thing, and things just work how they work. But this is an important aspect of the ecosystem. It's why community coins are so important. And it would ultimately, the ideal situation is people add value to their community, and that has a ripple effect throughout the greater ecosystem. And we've demonstrated that on repeatedly during a bear market.
Speaking of Chads, Chad Stacks in the house, in the chat, and he's another ROO Broo that's finding his way, participating and joining in the conversations. He comes on the live streams when he can, and he gets all in the conversation, and that's part of it. So that's going to wrap up the ROO segment. We're going to transition into the Stacks Innovation Call segment of the Friday show. You guys are all welcome to participate because, of course, you guys are all well integrated into the innovation side of things. We have Rosar here. He's going to talk to us about some of the stuff he's been building. Hero, what's up? Hattie, welcome. How are you guys doing today? Hello.
Morning, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Hey.
Happy Friday. And I just want to say, we have a tremendous amount of innovation going on from the Stacks community, from the dev community on Stacks. There are so many people and projects we can talk about. We'll touch on a few of them today, but we have Rosar joining us. And Rosar, so those that don't know, Rosar is the founder and creator of Charisma DAO, and there's a bunch of stuff going on there as well. The most interesting thing that he's developed out of a number of things lately is his Blaze subnet project, and just some amazing stuff he's doing here today. Rosar, why don't you give us a little background? Start from the beginning. Assume that you haven't been on the show and people don't.
Okay, that's a lot. Here's too much.
Well, give us
the history's too deep.
Well, all right. Give us the summarized version, but make sure that assume that there's people that don't know quite what you're building.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, so I've just been building progressively more ambitious stuff for a while. Just trying to find that killer app or whatever is holding the world back from mass adoption for Bitcoin and via Stacks. Like, I'm just trying to find that thing and unlock it so we can just get to the next step. So I've just been trying stuff, like literally just trying anything and everything until I find it, and I am getting closer. I feel like I'm getting closer. So basically what I'm working on with Blaze is, I think it addresses a lot of the problems with like wallet-based UX in crypto and security in crypto. Blaze is a way to take your transactions and move them off chain. And when you do that, I would say like 80% of the normal business of like signing transactions and keeping them on chain using your wallets, like it takes 80% of that and moves it off chain. And then it unlocks a lot of stuff. One, you can just do way more. You're not limited by all your processing being in smart contracts. You can do things, in a Web 2 way, and it's a lot it's pretty limiting working like if you want to have all your back end logic in a smart contract, because different smart contracts have different limitations. Everything you're building, it has to be super like security. You can't make any mistakes when you're working completely in smart contracts because they're permanent and they're not reversible. So yeah. But then there's also a lot of stuff you just simply can't do on chain, like random numbers. Like on stacks at least, like randomization is really, really tricky and hard. Oracle information is really, really tricky and hard. When you're using wallets, you basically have to be there for every transaction to authorize it. So that's really limiting. You can't have stuff happen like when you're not around. There's block times. So even like stacks, it's like 5 seconds, 20 seconds max. But like that's a little limiting for like a fast-paced game or something when it's like you're trying to buy items from the shopkeeper. It's like you don't want to wait 20 seconds. You just want it to be like instantaneous, like bam. So Blaze addresses all these things and I think fixes them. And also I think it's not there quite yet, but I think it opens a pathway to using crypto without wallets. Where you can just you don't really know your interaction.
An account abstraction kind of functionality as well.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I know some of the stuff you were showing us the other day was just mind-bending.
And there's more.
Really? Oh, you got new stuff since 2 days? Was that just yesterday morning?
Yeah, it was this day. I made this. That's what I'm saying. Like with Blaze, I can build stuff way faster. Like, probably took Bitflow like a few months to implement dollar cost averaging. And then Alex had been working on their limit order system for months and months. I just did both these in 1 day each. Yeah. So that's the spoiler, right? There's dollar cost averaging.
Well, the limit order functionality that you were showing us yesterday was really, really super interesting and definitely a major unlock for all sorts of potential.
I made a big upgrade to that too. So before you just used like a price, like basically you were comparing like a token against USD to make a decision on when to make the swap. Now I replaced that like default USD with like a stable coin like AUSD for backwards compatibility. And now you can change the base pair. So you can say like when stacks or when, Charisma is like doing really good, like a high price against stacks, you can then swap it for stacks. And then you can combine that with dollar cost averaging and make 100 of them every day into the future. And then you can do the same thing like for a low point. Like, if there's a point where Charisma is like trading really low against stacks, you can make a buy and the dollar cost average and then just send 100 of those out into the future. And what'll happen is like they'll just be there and they won't execute unless that condition is true of the price. So they'll just start like getting caught and picked up and some won't get triggered. And, at the end of the time period, you'll just more than likely, if there's volatility, you'll more than likely just have more money than when you started. There's a possibility it just goes up into the right where you'll probably just hit all the sells or all the buys, which is sort of like having, it's effectively like, a dollar cost averaging strategy. So that's the worst that could happen, but it's not that bad.
How does Blaze interact with liquidity pools, or how does it? Do you have to provide liquidity on the subnet, or is there a way for the subnet?
You just need to have subnet tokens, like one subnet token to start the process. So like basically you just need to get some Charisma tokens and then you can like multi-hop anywhere from that. So say you want to like have a strategy where you're like buying Welsh, every day at a certain time. What you do is you go in, you get some Charisma tokens, put them into a subnet, like subnet, peg them in, and then you'd set up a DCA buy for Welsh every day for months. And it's basically going to use the Charisma subnet tokens and sell them every day for Welsh for months. And it's because the subnet tokens have this special property where they can be transfer based on signatures, like decoded signatures. Well, signatures decoded, and then the signers decoded from them. So
I forgot about that one. With you had one where the signature could be on a QR code too, right? Like
Yeah.
you were talking about actually printing a note that had
Yeah,
a
like physical
pre-signed
bearer
signature on
asset
it.
model. Yep.
Yeah, so like a real world asset where you could put a QR code, and then so when somebody scans the QR code, it triggers the transaction that's pre-signed, and so they take ownership of whatever it is, and then you have a physical asset that you also have an on-chain record of ownership.
Yeah. I think that idea is massive, but it seems like some people just don't get it, like how massive it could be. Like
Well,
people,
I don't know.
a
lot of the I can imagine that a lot of the issue you'd have is most of the people building in this space aren't building with the idea of physical production. So as soon as you start talking about producing things physically, you're talking outside of their focus. People
Yeah,
aren't building
that's
things
fair.
real world products here.
I like
It's
physical things.
hugely applicable. It just needs to, your audience isn't for that function. Your audience is somebody with a real world product that can leverage Web3 functionality to generate sales and or distribution of their product. But it's still a very interesting thing you can do with that. So Blaze has it because it's a subnet. It's super low fee transactions, unless you actually have to go back and interact with the chain. Then you just have regular stacks transactional costs, which is still very low. You have instantaneous transactions if it's on the subnet, but if you're hopping, and you're doing transfers and you have to connect to liquidity that's off the subnet, that will still be reliant on-chain transaction speed because you're relying on on-chain transactions with some of those hops. But it can all be programmed.
Say that all again. I'm trying to follow it.
All right. So let's say I'm setting a DPA transaction for a limit order to buy stacks if it reaches a certain price point, and or daily. I want to put like $10, 10 I have Hermetica that I put into the subnet. It's in there, and I want to use that to trade. I'm going to program my trades, and it needs to go buy stacks. But there's not stacks in a liquidity pool in the subnet necessarily, so it's got to go and pull stacks. It's got to process those orders using liquidity that's actually on chain, not within the subnet.
Yeah, but you can do that fine. Like that. Basically, it's
just
like
those won't be instantaneous transactions because it's going to rely on chain transactions to do some of
those will be just as fast. Those will be just as fast too. It really all boils down to which token is being transferred first, and as long as that token is a subnet token, you can do anything. Like you can do anything you want. Because
but how does it?
We go ahead.
Doesn't it have to? So it's still if it's pulling liquidity from on chain, how would that transaction process instantaneously?
Because so like really all smart contract security boils down to controlling the movement of tokens in and out of principals. So like if you're doing a multi-hop swap, for instance, the only transfer that really matters is the first one, because you're sending, say you're saying swapping stacks for SBTC, but there's like 10 hops it has to do. The only transfer that really matters is the first one, like the stacks out of your account. Like once it's out of your account, a separate like multi-hop router contract can facilitate all the intermediate swaps, and it could just send them to and from its own principal. Because once it's in the router's principal, it can send them. It doesn't need your permission anymore. So it can do facilitate the whole multi-hop swap. And then when it's done, just send it back to you. And you could take that logic and apply it to anything. Like basically you're just putting value into some sort of like system. And then once it's in there, you could do any complex thing. The trick is, giving permission to move the value from your principal into some contract principal in the first place. And that's why that one token has to be a subnet token, because it can move the tokens based on your signature, like being decoded, validated and recovering your signer, and then matching it against your principal, and then think, okay, this is valid. I'm going to move the tokens. I know it's a little complicated.
So it doesn't actually require an on-chain transaction for the subnet.
It does, but you don't have to send it. It does require an on-chain transaction, but you don't actually have to send it. What happens is you send this, like a node will assemble your transaction from your signature and process it for you. So it's gas-free.
Right. So you'll recognize the tokens instantaneously on the subnet in your wallet. It's just that there will be some transactions that juggle around stuff for the hops.
Speed. Yeah, the speed aspect is a similar analogy to the way Stacks works. It's like Stacks blocks feel faster, right? But if Stacks blocks didn't settle on Bitcoin, would they really even be transactions at all? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's the same concept with
Rosa, have you created some sort of a Bitflow but on subnet?
Yes, I did. It works.
Yeah,
it's live right now.
So that makes sense. So do you need through the different hops, i.e. through the different token swaps in between, do you need to have all those tokens locked up in the liquidity in the subnet?
No, you just need the first one.
Okay.
Which is why I'm just having Charisma there for now, because it's an incentive to buy it.
So I don't have to care about all those tokens that Bitflow displays, all the hops that they go through. All I need to know from the user's perspective is to hold the entry token.
Yes.
And then I select my exit token, the token I want to swap to.
Yeah.
And the app builders worry about all the tokens in between.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of already done. Like the Charisma multi-hop router it's advanced. Like it can do really cool stuff. It can hop through pools, but it can also hop through things that aren't technically pools. That's why I call them vaults. And so I created a vault that's not a pool. It's a subnet bridge. So basically these subnet multi-hops, the first step is they bridge out, and then they just do normal multi-hops, like the way the Charisma DEX has always worked. And then, so that's basically like the clever part of it all.
It sounds to me like as long as the base layer, i.e. Stacks in this case, has those liquidity locked up in I don't know, Charisma, Bitflow, wherever in the Stacks network, you can leverage that.
Exactly.
You don't, right? So is it you gotta have it, or is it as long as somewhere in the ecosystem have it?
Anywhere in the ecosystem can have it, because Charisma is also an aggregator. So, and I aggregate pools from all the DEXs. So
the way
basically everything's fair game.
The way I understand the piece is that as long as I have, I lock up my STX as a user, like Rosa will leverage whatever he can leverage, all those routes and tokens in between, but he leverages whatever is on chain, on Stacks. I don't have to worry about it as long as those liquidity exists on Stacks network, not on the subnet of Stacks. As long as it's on the base layer it exists, Rosa figured out a way to leverage that in the subnet itself. So it creates basically like an instant Bitflow aggregator in the subnet. So I guess the advantage is that I don't have to wait for Bitflow to do the multi-hop on-chain. I can do the multi-hop off-chain. That's faster, cheaper.
Well, and more programmatic, because you can.
Yes. All these things are true.
You can set. Right. It's faster, cheaper, and more programmatic. You can set so you can actually even set
it's even
limit
private
orders that will trigger based on social tweets. Like
Yeah.
you can actually connect it
Private.
to. That's some of the stuff where that's some of the.
I was
I mean,
thinking
that's
about
the-
doing that today, like, cause I created like a Twitter like share button for like the thing just to make it easier to like, cause like you may want to set up like a swap and then you want to like here do this exact same swap to swap into Welsh or something. So I created like a deep link so you can share a link that basically like configures the swap page to be like precisely what you had it. And I was thinking like I could make it so that whenever someone shared it, basically triggered a swap or triggered like a transfer of like experience tokens to them or something, which would be cool. But yeah, I digress.
Right.
Yeah,
So
you can do it on anything.
there are some like parameters you can set outside of the blockchains into the like it's almost like you also have some kind of how do you call it, oracles into the other worlds like Twitter sphere, Discord sphere. If something triggers, let's say if somebody reacts an emoji in some kind in Discord, or certain votes passes in Discord, you can trigger a subnet transaction.
Yeah, like it's I don't talk about it a lot and it's understated, but Oracle use cases are probably the top use case for Blaze because it just makes building oracles so easy. Because it's just it's literally just like Web 2 development. You just request data and then just
you can
change the way you build transactions based on that.
Right. You can programmatically buy the rumor and sell the news.
Exactly.
So you can have like the big market, or what like the betting market. Probably the advantage there is like it's instant and it's private, as long as they trust the subnet works. And you are with Oracle.
Just back to the security bit, because we're talking about all these features. So I just want to remind like where the security comes from here. So like every time you create these intents, these signed intents, because that's effectively what this is, like an intent protocol, you're signing this like form of like five, six fields. There's you sign basically the contract that's going to execute, and that's basically the subnet token. So like you're signing like Charisma subnet v1 on there, and that just means like it does a check to make sure that like the token that's actually being transferred through this has to be this token. So it enforces which token's being transferred. There is a keyword. It's called like transfer tokens. There's like it's basically a string and it matches against different commands. So basically it's just like a human readable string. So for sure, like you use the string transfer tokens. This is only going to be used on transfer tokens. There's a bunch more. So you can like define these, you can like write in stone effectively some rules about how this intent will be transacted on chain. And the reason that the server can't do any funny business and change your transaction is because like when it builds a transaction and transmits it, the smart contract that is executing this transaction, it's taking those values and it's rebuilding this hash. And it's using those values to rebuild the hash. And when it rebuilds the hash, it then it also takes the signature that you provided when you send the transaction. It takes that signature, the hash, and then it decodes your wallet address. And if anything has changed, your wallet address will be different, the transfer will fail, and it just won't work. So, and then on top of that, the smart contract will have these values that are in the hash as part of the transaction. And that can't change. It's a smart contract. So like those, basically you can define some fields that will just be permanently locked in this flow. But the things that aren't locked and aren't like written in stone, the server can change based on like real-time information or Oracle data or whatever. And like the physical bearer asset, that was one. The thing that's not locked in there is the recipient. That's why the amount is fixed, the token's fixed, but the recipient can be changed by the server, because it's like this private server, and that part it's using like an Oracle information. In that sense, it's the person who like submits the code on the web, and they basically say like, I want it, and they pass it in. But like that's basically how the whole system works, is like there's some part of the transaction that's like cryptographically cannot change, and then there's a part of the transaction that can change. And it's all just a game of like making parts fixed and parts flexible, and then building stuff with that.
Very interesting stuff, man. It's
Autism laser beam.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
it's
we can talk about this for a while.
so, and honestly, the thing that excites me about it, well, I actually think that the programmatic trading, the order book and the limit ordering and stuff like that is really, really dope. But I actually think that the options for gaming and like that kind of interaction where it is instantaneous is actually the real nitty gritty here. Like, you know, people being able to interact in on chain in a live game with on chain assets in real time is the kind of that functionality has real potential with what you're building out. That kind of stuff is going to be crazy. Have you talked to George is building out a game with flat and he's calling it UAP. It's with his UAP token. And he's building out a game. I don't know if he's talked to you about it at all, because I'm curious how that game's going to work. I think it's going to have on-chain assets and stuff. Has he talked to you about working it into the subnet?
No, I don't think. I don't know what it is yet, but maybe I need to. Well, there's certainly a lot of things I could do to make it easier to build on Blaze. Like today, one of my to-dos was document basically like everything that I've changed in the last few months, and just get the docs for like Charisma and Blaze all up to date. But I haven't got much outreach yet on like how to build on it. So maybe it's just new. I think it's just new. But I figured once I get like these first like sort of killer features out with it and demonstrate like how easy it is to build this stuff with it, interest will grow.
Dope,
Can
really
somebody like Alex or Zest or Granite or Vela like leverage this and directly have like a version of their app on subnet?
They could, but I hope they don't, because it's my unfair advantage right now. So I'm gonna just keep leveraging that and stealing business from them. Yeah, I don't know. Like I tried to help them all so many times, but no one cared about
Hattie,
it.
you're muted. Hold on a minute. Hattie, are you talking to
I'll
us?
just keep doing this until they capitulate.
No. Okay, I'm sorry. I unmuted you.
I think that's mainly because I think the Stacks is not fully like full on traffic yet, and when that day comes, then people will have to move off chain, or you will drive the incentive for people to, go to subnet.
Yeah, well, I think it's already starting to happen now. Like with the orders feature, it's like that plus the DCA. It's a pretty powerful combination. Like if I could just finish this stupid open graph generation problem I've been debugging the last 2 hours, I was gonna set up a bunch of orders for myself, just like basically exactly what I described, just like hundreds of like buy attempts at low prices and hundreds of sell attempts at like 10% higher prices, and just let it run. Just see how it performs. If just
Is
like
it
super small amounts.
Is it easy to bring it back to Stacks?
Yeah.
Super
I mean,
easy.
Is it one block confirmation or something?
Yeah. It's just you can do it through the multi-hop router. Like you can swap from subnet like Charisma to normal Charisma. You can. I mean, like moving through like in and out of the subnet is just like swapping between two tokens. It's like exactly the same experience.
So it's instant, or does it rely on one block confirmation on Stacks network?
I mean, like technically everything still requires blocks, like one block to confirm. And in that same sense, like everything on Stacks still requires one Bitcoin block to confirm. You know what I mean? Like if the Stacks block didn't confirm on Bitcoin, it's not really a block, you know?
Yeah. So
And in the
if
same
you do the
way-
multi swap like Charisma to from subnet Charisma back to Charisma, you're only getting pre-confirmation, so it's best advised to wait for one block. Would that be true?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like the Charisma balances are like pre-confirmation balances. They're basically like, when this resolves, this is what your balance will be. It's the same way, like, you know, you work on Stacks, like, you know, it processes in 5 seconds, you get a new balance, but really, you're really hoping there's no Bitcoin reorg, because if you just send SBTC, you're in a bit of trouble, you know, that sort of thing. So, I mean, now that there's like reorg protection, not necessarily, but you know what I mean? Like if there's somehow a Stacks block didn't anchor to Bitcoin, like that would be a huge issue. And that's sort of like forming and taking shape right now. Like right now, Blaze transactions or these intents they're just processed like one at a time. There's no like batching them yet. I just figured that's something I could just tackle later when, you know, it's just, you know, there's not enough volume for that to really matter. Might as well just do them one at a time. Also, like from my experimenting, fee estimation is not super straightforward, like with batching transactions. Like it seems like the fees are almost linear scaling. So it might help for like mempool congestion, but I don't know if it's going to be like a huge fee saver for like me as an individual, like to batch them. So it's just something I'm putting off basically. But I think the user experience is probably better as is right now with just doing them like in real time, like just in time processing, like real time processing. But yeah, like the illusion and experience and like abstraction of it being fast and getting fast balances, it's honestly one of the trickier things to do. So it's probably gonna be like implemented like to just do like your balances for a transfer. That's easy. When you start getting into like multi-hops, it's not as straightforward because there's slippage and prices can change, so we can give like estimates of balances. But yeah, the balance aspect is tricky. The speed abstraction is tricky, and even if I got those all perfect right now, it's not necessarily like a huge catalyst for people to use it. I think the big catalysts right now and like the big ROI sort of action items are like doing this stuff that it's just impossible to do right now. Like these, you know, like limit order sort of features, is dollar cost averaging. Like these are really, really hard things to do on Stacks. It takes months. A lot of smart people working on them to build them like securely. But it's much, much easier when you can use like oracles off chain to make a lot of these decisions. Just use like standard Web 2 development that doesn't, you know, require like such rigorous testing, because, you know, if there's an issue, you can just patch it. So, and it doesn't affect everyone. It just affects like the one person that ran into it. So there's a lot. You can work faster. You can build faster. You know, and of course, like I said, there's just more things you could do. Like getting a real-time prices really easy, off chain. Getting real-time prices on chain extremely hard, and like costly. You have to basically build like a whole Oracle network, and if you have to account for scenarios where like prices are delayed and people are taking advantage of that, it's just, yeah. I digress.
What I'm showing right now is just the order book swap function on Charisma. So
yeah,
I
added
can set
the charts.
What's that?
Instead, I added the charts. You can click on the chart and like set the limit of the target price too.
Oh, I'll set the price. So if it goes under here, I can just set it. I just want it to trigger, so I'm going to set it higher than the current price anyway, just so everyone can see it. But you can set it lower. You know, you can set it down like, all right, it was down here not that long ago. So if it gets back down there, I'm going to buy some SHA. I'm going to put one STX. Now, is this going to be? This won't actually
Oh.
be. This won't complete on subnet. This will actually complete on mainnet. Is that correct?
If you want it
Yeah,
to.
I mean, for this, I would say click Stacks and switch that to Cha, to subnet Cha, so you can. I don't know how Stacks got selected there. It's probably like, I was literally looking at this thing. I was like, that probably won't happen, and it happened. Click on Stacks and switch that to.
This
Cha.
isn't.
Okay, click
It's
the
not
reverse
changing.
button. Perhaps.
This one.
Yeah, the swap tokens thing. Oh yeah, you don't have any yet. So I would recommend depositing some.
I just processed a transaction for Cha actually before I even brought this up. So let me.
Okay, let's check out the order and see what happened. Yeah, all the orders require subnet tokens for, so it's probably something.
So I tried to send I tried to do. All right, so I have to put stacks in the subnet before that swap would go through. Like I processed the swap here.
Oh, it's just like a normal multi-hop.
Yeah, I processed the transaction here, but it failed because I don't.
Okay, it's probably like a
actually stacks in
subnet.
this
Yeah,
wallet on subnet. This is
I need
subnet
to.
tokens.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
like
to be-
swaps, normal multi-hop swaps.
So how would I put my stack on if I wanted to drop a stack or two into the subnet so I could process these transactions?
There is not a stack subnet.
Oh, I can't put it.
I'm not
Oh, it doesn't have stacks on there now.
There's only 3 subnets deployed right now. There's Charisma, a Welsh subnet, and an SBTC subnet. And I'm only having the Charisma subnet here because I'm just trying to get people to like support the project and actually invest in the token. So yeah,
I have to buy. So I have to right now. I'd have to buy Charisma on chain and then bridge it into and then put it into the subnet.
yeah, and you can do that in one step. Just click that little fire icon, or go back to the way it was before. All right, then click that little fire icon next to Charisma.
This one here.
Yeah, that means it's going to be a subnet deposit now, and then you can just pick any token that you have.
I do have
anything of, and then just do this swap, and then it's going to automatically do a multi-hop and then do a subnet deposit in one step.
Is this is mainnet, right?
Yeah, this is mainnet.
I definitely have like 40 stacks in my wallet here, so I'm not sure why.
It's possible that the balance is not correct there.
Oh, so it still might process.
Yeah, I don't know what your wallet balances are, and it's, like I haven't. There's probably some like
It's
UI
just
bugs and
that
glitches.
wallet that I have like 30.
Oh, there we go.
I have like
different wallet.
All right,
yeah, there's a 40.
So
right,
just
so this one-
I just realized something that just to help people maybe frame it in their head, or it helped me frame it in my head. It's almost as if it's like some sort of Coinbase on it's like base on Ethereum in some sense. It's like a layer on top of Ethereum, layer 2, layer 3, whatever you want to call it. But it's almost like you can act as a decentralized exchange on chain, as in like off chain on subnet, but it's tied to Stacks. I just think it's more like a Coinbase on chain.
Yeah, it's kind of like Lightning Network, but with the general purpose programmability aspect, because it's on Stacks. So
yeah, I think the whole thing, it's more like there's a lot you can do with it, but it is almost like a Coinbase on Stacks in some sense. But instead of going to this, because it's no different if we do swaps on Coinbase, like centralized exchanges, it's like they're some sort of internal ledger trying to do the swaps. But your thing is more like a decentralized exchange, like a Coinbase, which they have. They have the Coinbase, the centralized Coinbase. They also have the base Coinbase, which they are migrating as much to Base as possible from their centralized exchanges. But its own chain is built on Ethereum. It's based on blockchain, I believe, rather than this is more like a Lightning design. So it's just different architecture in the decentralized world.
Architecturally, it's a lot like Lightning, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's something you can just use decentralized, but you can also be like under the hood powering like centralized applications. Also, I'm sorry you keep running into that bug. Like if you click on Charisma, the drop down for this USEN token, you can see there's only one choice for that since it's like a subnet token. But unfortunately, when you do the swap tokens button, it can force stacks in there, and it really should not be allowed in that position, and then it gets all buggy. So I'll fix that.
This one.
But I think like the analogy to Lightning is
aren't opening. So there's a bug, but you guys can see where it's going though, right? Like it's
you should buy one stack's worth of Charisma.
So Rosa, I would just like highlight if you say like Lightning, I think people may think it's just like pure payment or just like a little bit dumber, not so programmatic. So this is more like another like Lightning Plus, let's say. It's like a programmatic Lightning. I would say it's not smart contract. Is it smart contract or is it not?
Yeah, it is. Also, you need to turn off order. Order is like subnet only thing. So I should probably disable that button until.
So I would describe it as more like Lightning Plus, i.e. programmatic Lightning, because it looks a lot smarter than Lightning.
It is. It's way better than Lightning in every way.
It's almost like in between a blockchain and Lightning, maybe. That might be a good way to sort of frame it.
I mean, this design started from Lightning. Like it was Bryce's Lightning implementation on stacks in the form of Clarity smart contracts. And I took it and I tried to build his Lightning thing with him. And I was like, I feel like this could be a little better and a little more simplified because, I just don't know if we need channels. I think Lightning was the best that could be built on Bitcoin, but the problem with channels is you can't just unilaterally withdraw from it. You can't just like take your money and leave. And I wanted a system where I could just take my tokens and just like pull out whenever I wanted, so it's non-custodial.
Just putting my SIP hat on and Hattie and deputies and people like that. I wonder whether it would be helpful if we got you and Bryce on a call or like this and just like talk about your design. You can show him whatever and we can help set that up.
We could talk. I mean, we talked a lot about it while we were working on it together. So we're on the same page on it. Like there's pros and cons to both designs. I just wanted, like, I had some specific things that I wanted to be able to do with this, and one of them was like, at any point when you're using Blaze, you can always just literally do one contract call, withdraw, and take all your money out of Blaze whenever you want, like whenever out of these subnets whenever you want. And that's because you're signing these intents to do things, and you're sending them to servers who can process them later, but I didn't want a situation where like you're stuck in this system and, you could have an intent to buy something and like a dollar cost average that's like playing out. And, say something happens where the server like restricts your ability to like delete that intent. I wanted there to be an escape hatch where you can just like always pull out at the last, if you wanted to. So you never have to run to that issue.
Yeah. I understand.
Also, I'm just, I'm a smooth brain, and I just thought the Lightning code was like really complex and like and convoluted.
Yeah, I think lots of builders, like Lightning builders, mention how complex, like more complex than Bitcoin, like way more.
Yeah.
So it makes it really difficult to develop on top of Lightning. That's one like developer issue they have actually.
Yeah, like 80%. I would say 80% of, I don't know, at least 50% of the complexity in the Lightning design, at least from the one I was working with, that implementation, is just like channel resolution. There's this like multi-stage back and forth process where you have to. like basically like negotiate with the other side of the channel on like how you're going to split these funds. And then there's like this hash time lock mechanism where like if there's a delay and the negotiation's not over, it just like ends and someone gets the money. And it's just felt a little like I just want to pull out my money whenever I want. I don't want to do this whole back and forth thing, you know.
So, Rosa, could I ask a few questions?
Of course.
So, love what you're doing. I enjoy it. You spoke about XP and a trigger. So, if then something triggers.
Yes.
So that's a really cool feature. I love that. And I think a lot of communities can utilize that. So I think that's a feature. If you built a community page, would be awesome. The communities could come in and do that. And then can you have a private subnet?
Yeah, I mean, they're all kind of private in a way, because like the way it works is like you're on an app, you sign a transaction and then you send it directly to them. So you're not broadcasting anything. And the app, you know, it's a private backend. They just like put it in a database. And like, so up to this point, no one else in the world knows that you actually had this interaction with this app. It's not until like conditions are fulfilled that it will actually take that and then write a transaction on chain with that information. And the information it has, your wallet address isn't actually in it. It'll like the parameters of the transaction on chain are going to be like the UUID, your signature, some parameters of the exchange, like maybe what tokens you transferred or something. You could find out who did that by decoding the hash. Like you'd have to build the hash, all the parameters, use the signature to decode the signer, and then you'd kind of know who was sending the message. But unless you did all that, it's effectively like private, and other than, you know, in that sense. So but it's also extremely private up until the point of transaction, you know, so that's cool.
I think one selling point for Bitcoiners is like it's private because it's not private on Stacks. So if Bitcoin layer 1 people want to come to Stacks, this gives them additional reason to, you know, to accumulate their Bitcoin, let's say on subnet, and then bridge out to layer 1.
Yeah, like here's two examples I think that make good use of the privacy. One is like, say you're doing voting and everyone just signs intents and send it to a server for voting, and then the voting, you know, they're not revealed until like the voting time is up, at which point it then broadcasts them all to chain in like a batch. And so like no one would know the votes until the last second, until it's over basically. Another one is like the physical bearer asset model, where it's like intents never get settled on chain. People just pass around intents. So like say I give you an intent to transfer $10 to whoever submits this on chain. You could just hold that forever. And then, you know, you say you hold it for a year and then you give it to someone for a sandwich because it's $10. And then they give that intent to someone for, you know, a half a tank of gas or something. And then
sounds like our banking system.
Yeah. And then like eventually someone's like, I kind of want some Bitcoin, and they just settle it, and then they get SBTC, and then they, you know, then they create another intent and then start passing that one around.
Yeah, essentially like Bitcoin becomes like the federal international settlement system. And then you have maybe the banking system, which is Stacks, but the broad money that people use it's, let's say, the subnet, you know, buying sandwiches and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's like, that's why I got so excited about the bearer asset concept, because it's like it scales infinitely. You could have literally billions of intents just floating between people. And as long as, you know, you settle them at a reasonable rate, you could scale like literally as much as you want, because it takes no compute to give someone an intent or like send them an email of the signature, or, you know, what have you, however it's being transferred.
If we had a Stacks, what's the Nobel Prize, I think you win this prize.
I did. It was the Bitcoin builder thing.
He won. Yeah, he won the build battle.
I got my feather in my cap, so I'm back to building. But yeah, I agree. It's super exciting. Like there's so much to build on it. I just can't stop. It's too fun. Like you can sit down for like 4 to 8 hours and just build like stuff no one's considered possible.
At the earlier part of the code you mentioned, it's much quicker to build in subnet So can you help me understand why? Like, what's the main reason?
The main reason is because I don't really need to write many smart contracts anymore. And that's like the biggest bottleneck of blockchain development. Because basically everything boils down to like this. It's like there's one transfer, there's this like subnet transfer that I do write the signature for, and I'm transferring it into some contract that already exists. And then once it's in that contract, everything just happens in there. You know what I mean? Like so say like it's an NFT marketplace. This is something I haven't even thought of, so I'm gonna have to work through it mentally. So say you're buying an NFT. The only transfer I need to do is just like transferring in the stacks or whatever to purchase it. Sending the NFT out, that's exactly the same as it always has been. So I don't really need to like write new code for that. To like make things Blaze compatible, like I don't really need to change them at all. I just need to change the transfer in mechanism from like transfer, TX sender, all that sort of stuff, to like taking a signature. And so it's like very easy to upgrade things. Let's think. So this like limit order concept, it's basically just a transfer into the multi-hop router that I already had before, and then it's just doing a bunch of multi-hops like it normally does. I don't know. Maybe this is just like the summation of just like doing this stuff a lot, but it certainly feels extremely easy to build stuff when you can use the internet as an oracle for anything. You know, because like oracles are like one of the biggest limiting factors in building blockchain stuff, because it's like, oh, I want to, do something that interacts with the real world, and it's like you can't, because blockchains don't know about Twitter. They don't know about all this stuff that actually is relevant to people and their lives. Like they don't know what's trending on TikTok. So you're building in this little vacuum, and now it's like suddenly I can build with this knowledge of the world at large and of everything that's going on. And it becomes way more like relevant, like the things I can build to people, for people, because it's like it can be intimately connected to the things I actually care about. So yeah.
So I know one of the concerns with oracles on chain is the susceptibility to for it to be an attack vector, the security issue.
Definitely. Like that's the main area I have to be security conscious of, like making sure the oracle feeds are like good. Right now, the pricing for the events is coming through the Kraken's Crackle like price service, and it's historically been really good. I think it has the most accurate prices of all prices and stacks, because it does like a weighted average of all liquidity in the network. But there's a chance that his system could just crash or something. I don't know, like the stuff happens. It's just like how software is. So building something that's robust and resilient. Maybe if his system's down, it just stops processing orders, making sure it doesn't like process and like fall back onto bad data, or having a fallback oracle like using CoinGecko in case his thing's down, and then just not doing transfers if there's tokens that aren't covered by CoinGecko. Yeah, I agree. Like making sure the oracle feeds are good is the biggest thing to be security conscious of for this stuff. But like just due to the fact that the way the intents have these like signed properties that can't be changed, it's just really nice to know that like knowing, even if someone like could like get in my system and they couldn't, there's only so much they can change about this intent and how it gets translated into a transaction. They can only change the parameters that the oracle can change. So I just need to make sure that the data that's going into these oracles and being used in the transaction building is accurate. But it's not like they can like another thing that's really nice about Blaze and subnets is like all this like magic sort of like transferring things with signature stuff that only works for these subnet tokens. So like the most catastrophic thing that could happen in Blaze, it can't even affect your real wallet and your funds. That can only happen when you like do a normal on-chain transaction.
There's so many applications for this too.
Yeah.
It's insane. So that Rosar, thank you so much for sticking it out with us. You actually made it for the whole show, 2 days in a row. So much appreciated, man. I love what you're building. Thank you for making it on somewhat short notice for the call today. This was a huge. You really are innovating on Stacks for sure. So you definitely represent the spirit of what we're here for these shows. On the innovation side, Hero, did you have something you wanted to let us know about a SIP that's upcoming?
Yeah. So just more. I don't know enough about the SIP itself, but what I do know is it's been getting feedback. I think around I don't know whoever, but over the next couple of weeks or more, I don't know, depending on how the SIP develops and the feedback or whether people like it or not, there could be even a vote held for this. So just like watch out, bear that in mind over the next few weeks. You will probably
something cooking.
Yeah, something has been cooked from I think a collaboration, different people from Stacks Foundation to Bitcoin L2 Labs. Yeah, so I'm just sort of and I want to try and bring them on whenever, or maybe having Twitter spaces appropriately, so that people can have the chance to actually feedback to whatever proposal being proposed. Because if people are not on board with it, then there's no point having it. So if people are on board with it, then maybe there's a reason to have it. So and these will touch all the caps, maybe. Let's see. I'll hear more, and I haven't read any details about the SIP, but I just want to give people the heads up.
So an interesting SIP on the pike, coming down the pike. So be on the lookout for that. Rosar's killing it. We have a bunch of other people in our ecosystem, by the way, building awesome stuff too. We are very, very fortunate to have such big brain people like Rosar and all the other guys that are just cranking out stuff. Again, thank you, Rosar. Thank you, Hattie and Hero, for joining us today. Obviously, GP also made it for the long run today, and I know you got a million things going on today, so I appreciate you, brother, so much. We are DeOrganized Media. Thank you all for tuning in today, by the way. This was a lot. We bringing a lot of information at you, and we really love what's going on in the ecosystem. Again, very, very fortunate to be here. We are DeOrganized Media, coming at you live every Monday through Friday, bringing all of the news, engagement, entertainment, and information we can on the daily. Thank you all for tuning in today. Peace out. Have a great weekend, everybody. What happened? My buttons are getting crazy.